Maybe it goes into center field and he's on third base.
You're right, and we've seen a lot of pitchers who can't throw to second. And even if you can, maybe you throw it high, you throw it off the bag. Gardner is so fast, it would be bang bang anyway. The sacrifice goes 1-4. Belliard took the throw. Now here's Jeter, who singled his first time. Gardner at second with one out. And the pitch high fastball overthrown by Kershaw at 92 in the count 1-0. Reed Johnson, the center fielder today, moves slightly to right center. Ethier in right field moves up a step. And Gardner leads off second. For Cal plays behind his lead. The pitch, breaking ball is high, 2-0. Now one thing for Cal is trying to hold Gardner as close as he can. He doesn't swipe second. But what happens now is, look how far over Cal is. So if Jeter pulls a ground ball to the left side, it's through, unless it's unlucky and goes right to Blake, because that shortstop hole is open. It'll be a 2-0 to Jeter. The pitch, a breaking ball strike, and the count 2-1.
Now, as the ball was being delivered, Cal moved back over to closer to where a shortstop would really play, which is very interesting. Maybe he saw Cal throw the ball a little bit more inside, a pitch that Jeter could pull.
Well, breaking ball you can pull, and he just threw two of them in a row. One missed, one was a strike pitch. Fastball high, 3-1. Again, overthrowing the fastball. So he actually gave him a pitch to pull in the breaking ball. A lot slower, obviously, than the fastball. And that's a pitch you normally pull. Well, it'll be a 3-1 to Jeter. Swisher is the on-deck hitter. And the tall left-hander holds the set, chest high, deals. Strike on the outside corner. Jeter was headed toward first. He comes back in the count 3-2. Home plate umpire is Chris Guccione. So it'll be a 3-2. Now the lefty is set, about chest high. Payoff is strike three, call 2-away. Kershaw gets his first strikeout. Jeter didn't argue. He took the fastball at the knees and left. Now 2-away, here's Swisher.
Boy, what a terrific pitch. Outside part of the plate at the knees.
Good comeback, too, from 3-1 down. Swisher grounded into a fielder's choice his first time. Gardner off second, and the pitch. There is a strike in the count, 0-1. Remember, breaking balls. Not a lot of breaking balls early. The outfield straight away for the Swisheroo. Now Kershaw deals, swung on and grounded to short. For Cal, throws out Swisher to end the inning. No runs, no hits, one left. At the end of 2.5, scoreless on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep. Oh, and Nick Swisher grounded out to short to end the top of the third. Here we go to the bottom of the third. Reed Johnson getting a start today. A right-hand hitting outfielder. He played for a bunch of teams. In 100 at-bats or so, he's at .291, no homers, 7 RBIs. And 1 for 11 lifetime off Andy. The pitch high. They're giving Matt Kemp a day off.
And Reed Johnson played so well for Toronto. Terrific outfielder. Really a gritty player. Then had some back problems. Well, I guess he played for the Cubs and now is over here.
Here's the 1-0 from Andy. Swung on, foul, first base out of play.
This game is brought to you by your Tri-State Ford dealer, where you can check out the 2010 Ford Edge, America's favorite crossover, and a great way to improve your road trips. Ford, drive one home today.
I would say if there's a knock on Johnson, that's the knock, that he gets hurt a lot.
Right.
But he's a good player. There is the 1-1, and there's a breaking ball strike from Andy in the count 1-2.
He's the kind of guy that will run into walls and get hurt. I mean, he goes after a ball as hard as you can, so when he dives, he dives. And when he goes into the wall, he goes into the wall, and that's how you get hurt. And he has a knee, back.
The 1-2. Fastball high, 2-2.
But now as a fourth outfielder, very, very, very useful, and a defensive outfielder. Terrific defensive outfielder.
I think that's why he's such a good fourth outfielder, as Andy will deal 2-2 to the right-hand hitter. Hi. Because he can play all the three spots. He's a very good outfielder, and he's not a bad hitter. He got power. I would say he's a very good fourth outfielder. They do have another outfielder, Garrett Anderson, really more of a pinch hitter, and every now and then a very good replacement, lefty replacement for Ramirez when Ramirez gets a day off. Well, Pettit will deal 3-2 to Reed Johnson, leading off the third, and the pitch is grounded fair over first down the right field line, and Reed Johnson's taking second. The throw is not in time. It's a leadoff double for Reed Johnson.
And that's the kind of hitter he is. He saw that Teixeira over a little bit. The ball was on the outside part of the plate and almost pull-cued it very hard. And he runs very fast. Very gritty player. You saw him try and do that. The ball was up and over the outside part of the plate, and you saw him push the ball into the right field corner.
So there's the double. And now Kershaw has a chance to help his own cause by getting down the bunt. He gets down the bunt, then a run can score on an out. Kershaw, not much of a hitter. He's 2 for 25. A-Rod walks over to the mound, and so does Jeter. The Yankees have to decide whether they're going to put the wheel play or the rotation play on. The odd thing is they never did under Torre, but they've started to do it recently under Girardi. And the way that works is the third baseman charges, and the shortstop races to third. Now remember, there's no force, so they have to put the tag on the runner, Reed Johnson, at second. And Pettit's pitch is a little low. Now Posada trots out to talk to Pettit. You can get away with it more with a pitcher like Kershaw because he doesn't hit. He's 2 for 25. Because you can just imagine it. A-Rod comes rushing into home, the third baseman. The shortstop races to third to take the throw. Well, there's no one home. No one. And for that matter, Teixeira races in, and Cano races to first. The pitch is a strike in the count 1-1. Now that time they were charging, but A-Rod was holding up, and Pettit, if A-Rod holds up, Pettit has to go to the third base side. Teixeira will take care of the first base side. So that's two different ways to play the bunt with a sack. Pettit holds the set. And the pitch is bunted back to Pettit. He goes to third, and he is thrown away into left field. Johnson will score, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead. And you know what? Pettit would have had him. Pettit covered it, the third base side of the mound, and threw the ball away. So it'll be a sack for Kershaw, and E1, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead.
And John, that's the problem with having pitchers field the ball, and that's pretty much what you saw Kershaw hesitate throwing a second in the last inning. Pitchers will do that, and I've never understood it, and we've never understood it. He threw the ball in between A-Rod and the sliding Reed Johnson, and you are right, he would have had him. He threw it right in between the two of them.
Oh, it was an awful throw. So, sacrifice E1, 1-0 Dodgers. Here is for Cal. And the pitch is low. Boy, you could see that, and you could see that Pettit was going to have him. A-Rod called for it, and Pettit yanked the throw. But that's why we were talking about Kershaw taking the sure out. The pitches, for whatever reason, do not throw well to bases. That was a gimme. They were going to have Reed Johnson out. But you have to execute. And on that, the Yankees did not. It'll be a 1-0 for Cal. And the pitch is foul tipped at home plate. For Cal walked his first time.
Replay of that, you saw Andy scream, "No!" and punch his glove. But that ball really took off. Alex was there, and he had his arms up. He was telling him where exactly to throw the ball, and then it just took off.
There'll be a 1-1 for Cal. And the pitch is bunted down the third baseline. A-Rod fields, throws, not in time. It's a bunt hit for Cal. And the Dodgers have 2 on and no one out.
And you knew that there was no way Alex was going to be able to get him. He played it very well, picked it up, but Furcal was already there.
Well, now you have another sacrifice opportunity with Ronnie Belliard. And once again, the Yankees might think about putting on a play because the runner at second is the pitcher Kershaw.
And the great thing about what Furcal just did, John, you saw it bounce. It bounced at the plate, and then it bounced twice before it even got to Alex. So I didn't think there was any way. He came in beautifully. I didn't think there was any way he was going to get him.
So 2 on and no one out and 1 in. And this is a big spot in the game. Pettit deals, and first he throws to first to check on Furcal. Belliard can really handle the bat. Now the Yankees have to figure out how they're going to play this. They might want to play it the same way with Pettit diving toward third and A-Rod anchoring. With the pitcher running, you might have a chance to get him. Now Pettit holds the set and deals. And the pitch is low. Well, the count 1-0 on Belliard. Kershaw at second, Furcal at first, a run in. And in the bottom of the third, with no one out, the Dodgers have taken a 1-0 lead. Now Pettit holds the set and deals, and there's the bunt. Pettit fields and goes to first base, and he throws it away again. Well, scoring is Kershaw. Furcal goes to third, and once again Pettit threw it in the legs of the runner. Cano was covering. It would have been an easy play for the out. So 2 runs are in, runners at second and third, and the Dodgers are bunting the Yankees to pieces.
And now, interim pitching coach Mike Harkey going out, and this is just to calm everybody down and to calm Pettit down, because that's twice. And Pettit even set himself before he threw, and still it took off on him. Meeting at the mound, the entire infield is there. Harkey talking to Pettit.
So the Yankees have given the Dodgers a 2-0 lead, and I mean that. 2 throwing errors by the pitcher, Andy Pettit. It's also a sacrifice. Belliard gets credit for the sacrifice, and the throw to first was a very poor one. So 2 runs are in, second and third, and no one out. And here's the number 3 hitter, Andre Ethier, a left-hand hitter. And Pettit deals a breaking ball, strike 0-1. Furcal now the runner at third, and Belliard the runner at second. And Pettit deals, swung on, a high fly to center. That gets a run in. Grandison back. He makes the catch. Tagging And the throw to third is not in time. Tagging and scoring is for Cal. Very good throw by Granderson. It almost got Belliard at third. Was a sac fly. An RBI for Ethier. And the Dodgers have a 3-0 lead.
Well, it looks like Alex had a chance to tag him, and he slid in underneath it, and Alex looked like he missed the tag. It's a pretty good throw from center field. I think Alex missed the tag, because that ball was there before he was. Now let's look at this again, John. Granderson gets the ball and he sets and he's coming in and he makes a terrific throw to third base. Alex has the ball and he just tried to swipe tag him and he missed him.
Here's Ramirez. Yankees bring the infield in. 3 runs are in, a runner at third and 1 out. And Pettit deals to Ramirez and the pitch high. If I was the Yankees, I think I'd walk Ramirez. Set up a double play. Well, even after the first error, the second error, the one at first, what a killer that was. And that was not a tough play. Here's the 1-0 to Ramirez. Half swing. Did he go on a breaking ball? No. And the count 2-0.
Boy, this is small ball at its ultimate, isn't it?
Yes. And now they are indeed going to walk Manny Ramirez. Now the Dodgers will have on the intentional walk, first and third, 1 out. And here's right-hand hitting Casey Blake. Now you don't have to bring the infield in. You can play your infield back and hope to get a hard enough ground ball to turn 2.
Fans come out to Yankee Stadium on Wednesday, June 30th, when the Yanks take on the Mariners. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a 27-time World Champions T-shirt, courtesy of Supercuts.
They have given the second error to Cano. I disagree with that. That throw was in the baseline. So the first error goes to Pettit, and the one on Belliard is a sack and an E4.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah, that would be a tough catch. He'd be right in the baseline, I think. So here is Blake with first and third and 1 out. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Blake struck out his first time. So the infield moves back. Jeter at short, Cano at second, hoping to get a hard enough ground ball to turn 2 and get out of this mess. And Pettit deals. Caught on a missed on a big breaking ball down and in the count 0-2. A left-hand hitter's on deck, James Loney. But no matter how they score it, it's a 3-0 Dodger lead. And the Dodgers have had one legit hit. The opening ground ball double by Reed Johnson over first. Then bunt and an error. Bunt and an error and a sac fly. And that's the rally. And they all count. And it'll be an 0-2. He struck him out swing. So Blake is out. And now Pettit gets Loney. At least he gets out of the inning with 3 runs.
And it's the second time he's gotten Blake.
4th strikeout of the game for Andrew Eugene. Hey, Yankee fans, recycling's a team effort. So after you satisfy your thirst with Poland Spring brand 100% natural spring water, please remember to recycle your empty bottle. 3-0 Dodgers here in the bottom of the 3rd. Loney grounded to short his first time. And Pettit deals outside 1-0. Runners lead, first and second, 2 out. And the 1-0. There's a breaking ball strike. Big curveball. The count 1-1. Loney grounded to short his first time. The pitch to the left-hand hitter is low. The count 2-1. Belliard, the runner at third, and Manny Ramirez, the runner at first. 2 out, 3 in the bottom of the third, and the Dodgers take a 3-0 lead. And in this game played at twilight in Southern California, a little advantage to Kershaw, throws so hard. Here is the 2-1. It's low. And the count 3-1. A right-hand hitter is next. The catcher, Russell Martin. Now Pettit is set at the chest, and the 3-1. Strike at the knees. The count 3-2.
Meanwhile, all these pitches that Andy is throwing, that was his 60th pitch. We're in the third inning.
Runners lead off first and third, 2 out. Here comes the payoff. Ramirez is off with the pitch, and the breaking ball's outside, ball 4. So Loney walks, and they're loaded up. And here's Russell Martin, and I don't think it is imprudent to say that a base hit will go a long way to giving the Dodgers the win. 3 runs, you can score 3 runs. A base hit, the Dodgers would take a 5-run lead.
And we talked so much before the game started about Andy and his ability this season to get every pitch over. He's not getting any of those breaking pitches over. So you can just sit and you can wait for him to throw that fastball, bunt it, move it.
Pitch. There's strike. With a breaking ball, the count 0-1. Belliard at third, Ramirez at second, Loney at first, 2 outs. Martin struck out his first time. Andy has struck out 4, walked 3. And the 0-1 strike fastball 0-2.
And for Martin, that would have been his pitch right there. That fastball, only 87 miles an hour, inner half of the plate, just took it.
Now Pettit will deal 0-2. Swung on and chopped to third. A-Rod fields, throws, and the Yankees get out of an awful inning for them. 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 3 left. And now at the end of 3 innings of play, 3-0 Dodgers on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, the Yankees certainly have dug a hole for themselves. They're down by 3. As we go to the top of the 4th. Actually, the conditions, Susan, I think are a little better than I thought they'd be. Because now you see that the mound and home plate are all covered. It's not like it's coming out of sunshine into shadows.
Right. It moves, the shadows move from third base over and out to right field. So now the home plate, pitcher's mound, left field, and the left side of the infield are in shadow. Everybody else is in sun. But it's what John was referring to. It's important to a particular guy like Kershaw that you don't see the shadow coming into the sunlight.
Teixeira takes a strike at the knees. Mark popped up his first time. 3-0 Dodgers, top of the 4th. Yankees have one little old hit off Kershaw. Pitch. Cut on. I missed in the count 0-2. Let's take 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
Hello, this is Alex Rodriguez. It matters where you get your baseball. It matters where you get your news. America's #1 all-news radio station, WCBS 880.
John Sterling Susan Wellman back at Dodger Stadium. Kershaw just dealt a breaking ball in the dirt. So the count 1-2 on Teixeira. It'll be Mark and then A-Rod and Robbie Cano here in the Yankee fourth. There's the 1-2. Low outside, called a strike. One away.
Well, Teixeira, who doesn't argue, looked down. That looked to me like it was low, and he's calling that low strike, which means you're going to have to swing at it because it's going to be called a strike. Let's look at this again. Martin sets up right at the knees.
Oh, it was outside. My goodness. Anyway, I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at Chris Guccione. Instead of calling it, he waited and then gave the very dramatic fist pump. The one away, here's A-Rod, and the pitch is low. Yeah, I can see why Teixeira took the pitch. It was low outside. It certainly was outside. It didn't catch any part of the plate. But if you're going to, that's why you can't argue calls. If you're going to argue balls and strikes, we'd be here all night. You'd be arguing every call. A-Rod hit into a force play his first time. Now the count 1-0 on Alex. 3-0 Dodgers in the fourth. And the fastball's high. And the count 2-0. The past couple of days, we kind of accused the gun here of being maybe a little quick. But today, Kershaw, I don't think he's been above 92 or 93. The 2-0. Swung on and grounded to third. Blake fields. The long throw is in time. And they're a two-way.
And that was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And Kershaw, we had heard, throws a lot harder than that. But as Joe Torre told me, sometimes has trouble with control. And usually a pitching coach, and then in this instance, it's Rick Honeycutt, who certainly knows what he's doing, will say, let's take a little off of that so that you have more control. And when you slow it down a little bit, sometimes there's a little more movement, and you can control it better. And boy, John, that's what he's doing tonight.
Well, two-way, here is Cano. Well, he's held the Yankees to one hit, the leadoff single in the game by Jeter. The pitch to Cano. There's a strike.
See, he's calling that low pitch. Cano didn't like that. Cano thought that was low and turned away.
Now here's the 0-1. And it's foul third base side out of play. The count 0-2 on Cano. And Kershaw's 0-2. Swung on a high pop off third. Blake fouls it to the stands, but it's back a few rows, so the count holds 0-2 on Robbie.
And Robbie got really under that. You could see that it was a high fastball, only 90 miles an hour, but misjudged it. Kershaw, as we said earlier, 22 years old.
Now here's the 0-2. Fastball high on the count 1-2. Yankees have only had two base runners, Jeter single, and then Gardner was hit by a pitch. And that's it. Here's the 1-2. Breaking balls outside. 2-2 to Cano. 2 outs, no one on. Top of the fourth. 3-0 Los Angeles.
Last year, Kershaw had a 2.79 ERA, was 8-8, but the strikeouts, struck out 185 batters. That was 11th in the National League.
The 2-2. No, he didn't call it a strike. The count 3-2. I'm following Guccione. When he straightened up, I thought he was going to go to the pump. So 3-2 on Cano. And here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air down the left field line. Ramirez toward the stands, but it's in by a couple of rows. So the count holds at 3-2. Kershaw and Chad Billingsley are the two big starting prospects for the Dodgers. Billingsley, who's been out, is going to pitch tomorrow night against the Giants. They have another youngster in the rotation now, John Ely, along with Padilla and Kuroda, who pitched yesterday. There'll be a payoff to Cano with 2 outs, no one on here in the 4th. And the payoff is swung on and hit in the air to left toward the line. And Manny comes over toward the line and makes the catch fairly near the corner. And the Yankees are down 1-2-3 at the end of 3.5. 3-0 Los Angeles on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep
Insurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
Well, Brett Gardner is out of the game. Chad Huffman is in left field, and so obviously when Gardner was hit, maybe we didn't see a replay of it, but as John and I were talking about it, it looked like he got hit on the hand, and perhaps it's that thumb, John. And if he got hit on that thumb that he broke and has been having problems with, probably swelled up. But we'll find out after the game, obviously, and if they give us a report, we will certainly pass it along. But Chad Huffman now is in left field for the Yankees.
Now here's Reed Johnson. He led off that 3-run rally with a ground ball double, the only authentic hit. The other was a bunt single. Now Johnson now bunts himself, and it's foul up the first baseline as he tried to push the bunt. And the count 0-1.
Scoreboard update is sponsored by 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. Donate your car today at carsforkids.com. These obviously all final. Milwaukee beat Seattle 3-0. The Angels over Colorado 10-3.
Now here's Pettit's 0-1. Grounded fair over third this time down the left field line. Chasing in the corner is Huffman, and it's another double for Reed Johnson. I don't know if that's the most amazing thing or not, but it makes you stop and ponder. Johnson's been up twice. He had a ground ball double over first down the right field line. Now had a ground ball double over third down the left field line. Another great start for the Dodgers in the 4th inning.
And we haven't seen Reed Johnson in a while. John and I both remember him as being a very good player and a very good hitter before he got hurt. Maybe that back is all healed. Oakland beat the Pirates 3-2. It was Boston over San Francisco 5-1. John Lester with a complete game. Victor Martinez left the game with after fouling a ball off his foot. Texas is leading Houston 5-0. They are in the top of the 5th. They are in Texas. Josh Hamilton 18th homer. Michael Young his 11th.
Now here's Kershaw bunting again back to Pettit. This time the safe way at first. The sacrifice works 1-4. Robbie Cano took the throw. And on to third goes Reed Johnson. And here is Rafael Furcal. And if I'm the Yankees, boy, I have to be kind of alert for a bunt. Not that it would be a suicide squeeze, but just a bunt that would bring the run home. The infield comes up, and here is Furcal, who's walked and bunt singled.
In the one intra-league game, San Diego beat Florida 4-2. Will Venable had his 8th homer of the year. And these all final. Cleveland beat Cincinnati 5-3. Mitch Talbot beat Bronson Arroyo. It was the Mets over the Twins 6-0. Jonathan Neese beat Scott Baker.
The pitch to Furcal. Hit on the ground. Foul. Third. Hit it hard, and Reed Johnson had to jump to avoid being hit, although he was in foul territory. So the count 0-1.
Baltimore beat Washington 4-3. David Hernandez gets the win. Tyler Clippard takes the lot. Roger Bernardina, his 5th homer of the year for. Phillies beat Toronto 11-2. Jamie Moyer gets the win. Brett Cecil takes the loss.
Now Pettit will deal 0-1. Grounded foul off home plate toward the third base side. So that at least takes away the threat of the bunt. With 2 strikes, you bunt foul, you're out.
Vernon Wells had his 19th in a losing battle. Detroit beat Atlanta 10-4. Brendan Bosch had his 12th homer. Justin Verlander beat Tommy Hanson was Arizona with a 2-1 victory over Tampa Bay. Rodrigo Lopez beat Wade Davis.
Pitch, fastball high, 1-2.
Cubs beat the White Sox 8-6. Ryan Dempster over John Danks. Alfonso Soriano with his 11th homer. Paul Konerko with his 20th. And Kansas City beat St. Louis 10-3. Bruce Chen over Jaime Garcia.
It'll be a 1-2 to Furcal. And the pitch swung on and into the air to right. Swisher makes the catch. Tagging is Reed Johnson. Here comes the throw. Not in time. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Furcal. And the Dodgers take a 4-0 lead. Good job by Rafael Furcal getting the run in. There have been 3 sacrifice bunts and 2 sacrifice flies. Well, the Dodgers are moving runners around and they have a 4-0 lead. Four nothing Dodgers, bottom of the 4th, 2 outs, no one on. Here is Bellier. That's a lot of sacrifices. There's a strike to Belliard. Introducing best-in-class Jaguar Platinum coverage on all 2011 Jaguar cars. 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty and complimentary scheduled maintenance. Pettit's 0-1, fouled away. Visit TriStateJaguar.com. or your tri-state area Jaguar dealer. There'll be an 0-2 to Belliard. Now here is Pettit's 0-2. It's low in the count, 1-2.
John, you really can see what the Dodgers have said about Rafael Furcal is true, and what a difference this team would be without him at the top of this lineup. You know, like Jimmy Rollins.
The 1-2 fouled away. Now, no question about it. When you have a guy who even has a little power, which he does, switch hitter, can steal bases and hit. You know, he's a tremendous offensive player. Here's Pettit's 1-2 to Belliard. Swung on and drilled to deep left field. Back goes Huffman on the track, looking up, and it is gone. Now, Ronnie Belliard. How about the 2 guys Joe Torre put in the lineup? Reed Johnson and Ronnie Belliard. Belliard bangs one over the left field wall, and the Dodgers take a 5-0 lead.
Well, Huffman went back as far as he could, tried to see where it was. That was about the 3rd row into the bleachers.
The 2nd home run of the year for Belliard. He's been up a little over 100 times. 13th RBI.
You know, you can't even say that was a product of the count. That was 1-2 count. Wow.
So the Dodgers take a 5-0 lead. Ethier has singled, hit a sac fly. And there is a strike. I would say the 2 guys he put in the lineup have done a pretty good job, Belliard and Reed Johnson. Whoa. There is the 0-1 to Ethier, and the pitch is low on the count, 1-1. You know, the Yankees ought to think about getting someone up in the bullpen, I would think. Here's the 1-1. Grounded foul outside of first, because Pettit is the 4th batter up. And even though you know that Andy has a lot more to give, it's only 1 game. He pitches a lot. And, you know, the Yankees have something going. Let's say they have 2 on and 1 out. You have to pinch hit for them.
I see someone stretching. I see the windmills going around.
The 1-2 grounded to first. Teixeira fields and steps on the back. However, the Dodgers get 2 runs on 2 hits, one of which the home run by Belliard. And no one left. Now at the end of 4, it's 5-0 LA on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep.
WCBS, New York.
Now we go to the top of the fifth inning. The Dodgers have a 5-0 lead. The Emmy-winning comedy series Entourage returns for its 7th season. And once you have it all, what's next? All new episodes begin today at 10:30 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, only on HBO. It'll be Posada, Granderson, and Huffman replacing Brett Gardner. And the Yankee bullpen is up. If something's going on, they have to pinch hit for Pettit. And Posada fouls it away. The count 0-1. Thus far, nothing has gone on for the Yankees. They only have 2 men on base. A hit batsman, which is probably why Gardner left the game, may have been hit on the hand. And a leadoff single by Jeter, and that's it. And the 0-1 breaking ball, strike 0-2.
Beautiful curveball. Chad Godin has started to throw in the pen. I would think that they would take out Pettit. I know he doesn't want to come out of the game, but...
Well, here's the 0-2. Pitch is low. Well, look, the way they're going, they're not going to reach Pettit, so they may have to pitch him in the 5th. But if they have something going on in the inning, they have to pitch it. They're down 5 runs. And we're in the midway portion of the game. And there's the 1-2. Hey, he struck him out, swinging one away.
And he's using that curveball now. When you've got a fastball like he does, and then come back with that curveball, it's not unlike Phil Hughes, except coming at you from the left side. Phil Hughes went before he added a change in a little cutter, fastball curve. Got a beauty.
Now here's Curtis Granderson. And the pitch is popped up in back of third. Cal is there near the line and in foul territory makes the catch. He called off Casey Blake. He had the angle. So they were quickly two-way. And here is Chad Huffman.
Outfield number 22, Chad Huffman.
For the 3 kids that are up from Scranton, Chad Huffman, Colin Curtis, and Kevin Russo, you imagine, John, what a dream come true. I was talking to Chad Huffman about this afternoon. He said, we sit here and we watch. I mean, these are people that we've watched since we were kids, a Jeter and a Posada and an A-Rod. And they're learning so much here, no matter how long they're here for.
The pitch is low to Huffman. Well, once they get back, it's after today, without the interleague play, then the bench becomes more, the pitch is low. Then you don't have to pinch hit for the pitcher. There is no pitcher. And the bench becomes more of a defensive bench. It'll be a 2-0. Godin is in the bullpen, so Huffman gets on. They probably will pinch hit. Foul back. One thing I will say, though, be honest about this. You're supposed to be honest. And they don't have a lot with which to pinch hit. Curtis is a left-hand hitter. Cervelli, they can't pinch hit. They have to hold him out to be the emergency catcher if something happens to Posada. Huffman's already playing, so it comes down to Russo and Pena. So here is the 2-1. And it's fouled straight back, and the count 2-2.
No, it's not Ruben Sierra, Chili Davis, Tim Raines, Darryl Strawberry, Shane Spencer. No, none of those guys are on this team. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't notice it when you're in the American League because you really don't need the pinch hitter. Your starting team is so good, but you do notice it when you play without the DH. Here is the 2-2 to Huffman. High fastball on the count 3-2.
A little early to be starting the wave, don't you think?
The payoff is foul back. I think it's always too early. I wouldn't care if they waited for the 9th inning.
Oh, my goodness.
Now Kershaw's payoff pitch. And it's foul back, so the count holds 3-2. 5-0 Dodgers. Were in the top of the 5th. 2 outs, no one on. The Yankees with only 1 hit and only 2 base runners off Kershaw. Now the payoff. It's grounded, base hit, and the hole between third and short. So Huffman gets his second big league hit. And his first, it wasn't an infield hit, so he's on with 2 outs.
And that was off his fastball, and he turned on that nicely. He slashed it into left field.
And the Yankees aren't going to pinch it at all. So with that, go down, sits down. Maybe they would have pinched it if they had 2 on and 1 out. Now with a runner at first and 2 out, they'll buy time. The pitch to Andy is a strike and save their bench for later in the game.
You know, he's still throwing. He hasn't sat down. Now he moves. I mean, he's ready anyway. If Andy gets in trouble, he's been throwing the whole inning. Now he's done.
It'll be an 0-1. God, I'd have missed on a high fastball. The count 0-2. Kershaw's pitch in the dirt. Now the hit by Huffman, only the second Yankee hit and only the third base runner. That'll be a 1-2 to Pettit. Andy sacrificed his first time. Now Kershaw deals. Strike 3 is called. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Now the end of 4.5, 5-0 Dodgers on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep. Let's take 10 seconds station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
Teams in New York play on 880 AM.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Dodger Stadium. 5-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 5th. And in the bottom of the 5th, that is the Daily News 5th, sponsored by the Daily News, New York's hometown newspaper. We're joined in the booth by our buddy Mark Feinsand of the Daily News. Manny Ramirez leads off. Now Pettit will stay in. There's a strike to Manny. I was going to say until he comes up again when they win, will pinch it, or if he doesn't pitch very well. Well, Mark, one thing the Yankees have done this year, that'll be an 0-1 to Ramirez, who has grounded into a double play and walk. Now he steps out. One thing the Yankees have done this year is play terrific defense. They've made 26 errors coming into this game, and in one inning they played very poor defense.
Very poor defense, and on pretty fundamental plays with the sacrifices too.
The 0-1 fouled away on the first one. Susan and I thought that Pettit absolutely would have had the runner, but he kind of yanked the throw.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Alex wasn't there at third base on the second one. And then there's the bad throw, although I was surprised they gave the error to Robbie Cano on that play. That should have been Andy's error, I think.
I agree.
How did they justify that?
Yeah, that was into the base runner in the baseline. Here's the 0-2. And it's outside 1-2.
Well, meanwhile, though, John and Mark, both John and Mark and John, it has all started actually with Andy Pettit. When you look at Andy, Mark, what are you seeing today?
Just wildness around the zone. He's not able to hit the corners the way he has been for most of the season.
There's the 1-2. Fastball's outside 2-2.
You know, it sounds like such a cliche all the time, the location, but that's what Andy Pettit's season has been. He has put the ball anywhere he's wanted it the entire season, and tonight it just doesn't seem like he's been able to do that, and so when he's been forced to make a pitch over the plate, they've been hitting him, and obviously the inning with the errors didn't help matters.
And here's the 2-2 to Ramirez. Line to right field, charging. Swisher makes the catch about belt high. One away.
And we saw Gardner get hit by a pitch. We didn't see a replay, but he was flexing that hand. Was that the hand, the thumb that he broke? Was that hand? You think that's why he's out of the game?
It was his left hand that he hurt.
See, we never saw a replay, but if he's out of the game,
well, you'd have to figure it's certainly a good chance that's it, and that's probably the hottest hitter on this team right now. He's hitting about 380 in June with an on-base percentage upwards 470. So, people look at Robbie Cano and all the other guys in the middle of the lineup, but Gardner has been as important as anybody this month.
Yes, it would hurt him if he was hurt for a while. Pitch is high. The Yankees have a very good starting team. They don't have a lot in reserve. If they lose Gardner, that would be very, very tough.
And right now they have another issue coming up with them going back to their home stadium and going back to American League rules.
The 1-0 is foul behind the plate, out of play.
Because as much as they like having the DH and not having to hit their pitchers and being able to give guys a break with the DH day, when they're playing Jorge Posada at catcher and Alex Rodriguez at third base, they don't have a designated hitter right now.
That'll be a 1-1 to Blake. Lines a base hit to left field. Cutting over toward the line is Huffman. He fields and fires in. Well, there's a one-out single.
And you're right, and if you think about it, and I never thought of it that way, and it's really nice to say give Teixeira a half day off and give Jeter a half day off, et cetera, but then you're putting in a substitute as a starting player, and there is no DH in this team, and most American League teams, quite frankly, are built around the DH.
Well, and the Yankees were built that way coming into the season with Nick Johnson as their DH, and then even when he got hurt, you had Marcus Timms, who is at least a legitimate power bat off the bench, and on the days where you weren't using Teixeira or A-Rod or Jeter, you had a guy like that you could plug into the lineup.
1-on, 1-out. Here's left-hand hitting James Loney, and the pitch is popped up to left. Huffman toward the line, coming in and makes the catch. Right near the line, two-way. Well, Mark, I think that we have to read between the fine sand lines. Probably we can read it in the Daily News as well. But the Yankees will be interested in getting a bat or two for the bench, huh?
I would think so. We don't know when Timms is going to be back. He hasn't even started his rehab assignment yet. And finding a versatile bat off the bench with a little bit of pop wouldn't hurt them. It wouldn't surprise me at some point this week once they get back to the American League to see Juan Miranda maybe come up. If the guy's got a little bit more power than your Huffmans and Russos. That wouldn't really surprise me coming in.
Here's Russell Martin with 2 outs, a runner at first, and Pettit deals. He's cut on him, missed in the count 0-1.
But I think in the big picture, with trade deadline now being about 5 weeks away, Brian Cashman's going to be working the phones. He always does, and there's going to be, there are going to be teams out there that are looking to get rid of some hitters. I don't know who they are yet, but we hear the same names over and over again. I'm sure those guys will be moved eventually.
What names are we hearing over and over again?
The 0-1, first of all, throw over.
Well, the guys we're hearing right now, not many teams have really declared themselves out of the race. The names we hear right now are all those guys in Baltimore, and I don't think those are the guys the Yankees are going to pursue, but those are the types of guys, the Wigginton,
Luke Scott,
Tejadas, Luke Scotts, those guys. I think players like that, but not necessarily those 3 guys.
I think Luke Scott would be a player they could look at. The 0-1 is low, just to name a player. Are you hearing that Cliff Lee is ready to be dealt?
Well, I don't think the Mariners have officially put him out there on the block, but they certainly are doing their due diligence and scouting every farm system there is right now. And obviously teams are scouting Lee, although you don't really need to do much scouting to know what Cliff Lee is capable of doing.
Russell Martin 0 for 2, a right-hand hitter. And the pitch is swung on and popped up down the right field line. Swisher running toward the line, but the ball is back in the crowd. Well, we get an advance for the people listening. We get an advance of who's pitching, in the next series. And we know Seattle's a poor team, and we know they don't hit. But when you face Cliff Lee and Felix Hernandez, you got a great chance to lose those games.
You've got a very tough series ahead of you if you're the Yankees right now. And, Phil Hughes against Cliff Lee, that's pretty much as good as it gets right now in the American League.
There'll be a 1-2 to Martin. Blake leads off first, and Pettit goes over there.
That brings another point. Phil Hughes hasn't pitched in a while, so when you look at that, do you expect him maybe to be a little too strong, maybe not as sharp? He hasn't pitched.
Yeah, he's going to be going on about 3 or 4 extra days rest, and you have to figure that it's, Joe Girardi said, it may take an inning or two for him to settle in.
Again, a throw to first, and again, Blake is back.
Yeah, but they're looking at the big picture and what they're looking to accomplish. And, it may take them an inning or two to get back into rhythm. And against Cliff Lee, you give up 2 runs in the first or second inning, that could be the ball game. But I think for Lee, this is going to be a big, big start for him. The teams that are looking for him are going to want to see how he does against a lineup like the Yankees.
Now, Pettit checks first down the 1-2. Breaking ball struck him out swing. Nice slow breaking ball. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left at the end of 5. And by the way, thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
End of 5. It's 5-0 Dodgers on the Yanks Radio Network. Driven by Jeep.
Audi of Bernardsville.
That's AudiExpress.com.
Hello, this is Jorge Posada. Can't stay awake till the end of the game. Catch the highlights tomorrow morning on WCBS 880.
In today's challenging economy, you need to work with the best when it comes to buying and selling real estate. Nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Visit RE/MAX.com today, your foreclosure and short sale experts. Well, the Yankees send up the top of the order, and time is a-wasting for the Yanks. It's the 6th inning, and they trail by 5, and they have 2 measly old singles and a hit batsman against Clayton Kershaw.
Kershaw in very good shape. His next pitch will be his 70th here in the 6th inning. Now the Yankees have restarted their bullpen. It still looks like it go down, I think. We're very far away from the bullpen. Hard to see in there.
The pitch to Jeter is fouled off. Well, I wonder why they are up. The last out was made by Pettit. So they're 9 batters away from getting to pinch hit, unless they simply want to take Andy out and save pitches in his arm in a 5-0 game.
Well, that is Godin, so. Thank you. They changed that error.
The 0-1. Good. That's only fair because Cano couldn't have made that catch. In fact, if he did, he'd probably get hurt. And I'd much rather him get an error than get hurt. So it'll be a 1-1 to Jeter. Pitch high. That was on the second sacrifice bunt, and Andy made a bad throw. So they gave the error to Andy?
Yes. They did indeed. And Chad Godin, I think they just think Andy's had enough because he's worked very hard out there. I don't think it's pitch count, but, save your arm here.
Here is the 2-1. Low. Susan, that really is more germane to the issue. If you lose, we're not even in July yet, and the Yanks are still in first place. They still have the best record in baseball. Sometimes you got to take your loss like a man. Get Andy out and get Godin in. Here is the 3-1 to Jeter. Hit on the ground, base hit to right field. Little inside-out swing, he hit it in the first base hole. So Jeter gets his second hit, and here is Nick Swisher.
And the other thing is there, and that's something that Joe Girardi said he learned from Joe Torre. Try and get your pitcher out of there on a good note. Andy had a pretty easy 5th inning, gave up the 1 hit to Casey Blake, but a fly ball, a couple of fly balls and a strikeout. Get him out on a good note. We'll come back next time. Come back in 5 days.
Now here is Swisher, who is 0-for-2. And Kershaw deals a breaking ball low.
All right, well, this is a different injury for Brett Gardner, a bruised right forearm. Hopefully it's not serious.
The 1-0 pitches pop foul behind the plate. Out of play. Susan, that's good news.
Yes, it is.
That ball, instead of hitting him on the hand, hit him on the forearm. And very good news for the Yanks. Really, they're very thin, the Yankees. They have a terrific front line. But they can't afford an injury, and Gardner's become an integral part of their offense. So that, I would say, that is very good news. It'll be a 1-1 to Swisher. And that's grounded foul off the third base side. In fact, off the Dodger dugout screen, and kicks back on the field. So the count 1-2.
And the better news is that they didn't say he was taken for tests anywhere, because the forearm, that you You got a bone in there. So hopefully that's all it is. Day off tomorrow, and hopefully he'll be okay for Tuesday.
Kershaw ahead on the count 1-2. Fastball inside. And what I mentioned when we were talking with Mark Feinsand about Seattle is really true. And there's a good way to look at it, or a different way to look at it. Because Seattle is a very poor team. They're 14 games out. They don't hit at all. But there's always a but, and I'll give you the but right after. Kershaw will deal 2-2 to Swisher. And the pitch is strike 3 called at the knees, 1 away. You have to scout umpires, too. Now, when it's 2 strikes and Guccione straightens up, then you can be sure he's going to give a very dramatic call. So 1 away, 1 on, 1 out. Anyway, imagine if you had a first-round series against Seattle, and the first 2 games you face Cliff Lee and King Felix.
Yeah.
That's a pretty tough series.
It is indeed.
The pitch is grounded by Teixeira wide at third. Blake Fields flips to second in time. So it's a 5-4 for us. Teixeira safe at first on the fielder's choice. And they're a 2-way. And here's A-Rod.
And I have a question, because a couple of things are very puzzling about Seattle. And we'll answer those, because I'm sure I'll see Jack Zarenzik and John Wakamatsu. They're probably in New York already and having a nice dinner as we're playing here in Los Angeles. But Jack Zarenzik said that he wasn't ready to trade Cliff Lee right now. I'm not ready to throw in the towel. Our pitching is too good. If they are actually going to throw in the towel, though, why did they go and get Russell Branyan? What was the point?
The pitch is high in the count, 1-0. I guess maybe he wants to see if, they'll win some games, I guess. But anyway, that's a long way to be out. I mean, you can come back, but it doesn't happen very often. But once every 50 or 60 years, I think. The pitch to A-Rod. And it's a breaking ball high in the count, 2-0. Here, the Dodgers have a 5-0 lead. Anyway, if you played them in a 5-game series, and let's say it's Lee, Hernandez, and Roland Smith and someone else, and then you bring back Leo Hernandez in the game 5, that'd be a very tough series.
Well, eventually, and I know he's doing rehab starts, eventually Eric Bedard gets back.
The 2-0. Swung at a pitch over his head in the count, 2-1 to Alex. Yeah, and Bedard, especially if it was the Yankees, has always been really tough on the Yanks. Well, who knows how he's going to pitch? He hasn't pitched in so long, but
he hasn't pitched in a couple of years, right?
Yeah. The pitch, a high pop off first. Loney right to the Yankee dugout, but it's into the dugout. Now the count holds at 2-2. Let's take 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
Your station for the Yankees is also New York's #1 station for radio news. Listen every day to WCBS and WCBS FM HD3 New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Dodger Stadium. We're in the top of the 6th, 5-0 Dodgers. There is a runner at first. That's Teixeira with 2 outs. And the 2-2, breaking ball low on the count, 3-2. A-Rod had stepped out. Now he's back in. And the left-hander will deal 3-2. Grounded foul off third. So the count holds at 3-2.
Field is just about completely in shadow. One little patch of sunlight near the right field foul pole.
Once again, Kershaw set for the payoff to Alex. Teixeira is going. The pitch is swung on. There it goes. Deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Alex Rodriguez drives a 2-run home run to deep left. It's an A-bomb from A-Rod. A 2-run blast by Alex. And now the Yankees are right back in the game. They trail 5-2.
Now Kershaw got a little strange with that fastball and really tried to aim it, and he missed. And it was the fastest one he'd thrown. It was 93 miles an hour. Remember we were talking about how Rick Honeycutt had told him to take a little off to have more control? Well, he threw that ball about 93. It got up a little bit and perfect for Alex Rodriguez to turn on it.
Well, Alex hit it flush, and he's swinging the bat great.
Yes, he is.
Good things will be coming for Alex and the Yankees if he keeps swinging that way. Robbie Cano is the hitter, and he takes it low. So Teixeira and A-Rod arrive home safely. Your family can be safe and secure with life insurance from New York Life Insurance Company. With 165 years of experience, they'll help ensure your loved ones enjoy a safe and secure financial future. New York Life, the company you keep.
You know, John, they just showed a shot. Alex is talking to Kevin Long, the hitting coach, and I just read his lips, and he just said to Kevin Long, "Was that better?" Work on swing all the time.
The 1-1 is low outside for Alex. He has 11 homers and 54 RBIs, and the 54 leads the Yankees. So A-Rod is getting there, and so is Teixeira, and it's very good news for the Yanks. It'll be a 2-1 to Cano, so it's a 5-2 ball game. And the pitch is popped up to shallow left. Ramirez coming in toward the line, and he makes the catch to end the inning. For the Yankees, 2 runs, 2 hits. The 2 on A-Rod's 11th of the year. And now the end of 5.5. 5-2 Dodgers on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep. Right-handed Chad Godin comes on for the Yanks in the 6th. Pettit goes 5 runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. But Pettit was his own worst enemy. He threw 2 bunts away. There was a bunt single and a sac fly. Actually, he pitched a very good ball game, except that he had problems throwing the ball to third and first on 2 sacrifice bunts in that 3-run third. Here's Reed Johnson, and he takes a strike. Reed Johnson has had some hand in the Dodger runs. He led off the 3-run third with a double over the bag at first, and led off the 2-run fourth with a double over the bag at third. So he's done a pretty good job. A right-hand hitter. And Godin's 0-1 is grounded to deep short. Jeter fields the long throw, is not in time. How about Reed Johnson?
Well, this is the Reed Johnson that we saw in Toronto.
Sorry. Excuse me. Godin was warming up. I just took it that Godin was pitching, but I should have looked at the legs. That's David Robertson's legs if I've ever seen them. So David Robertson comes on. Now that it's a closer game, they bring in Robertson.
John, am I right? Do I remember Reed Johnson doing this all the time in Toronto?
Well, I mean,
when he played, he didn't play that.
Here's Kershaw ready to bunt, and he brings the bat back and takes low. So David Robertson comes on, or even written down Godin. I did not know he was warming up, so here is Robertson. And there's a ground ball single for Reed Johnson, who's 3 for 3. Throw to first from Robertson. Nothing doing.
Scoreboard update sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com.
Robertson deals, and the pitch is taken low in the count 2-0.
Cleveland beat Cincinnati 5-3. It was the Mets over the Twins 6-0. Baltimore with a 4-3 win over Washington. Phillies beat up on Toronto 11-2 the final there. Detroit over Atlanta 10-4. Arizona beat Tampa Bay 2-1. Cubs over the White Sox 8-6, and Kansas City beat St. Louis 10-3.
The 2-0 is bunted toward first. Teixeira flips to Cano. So the sacrifice works 3-4, and on to second goes Reed Johnson.
Also in interleague, Milwaukee over Seattle 3-0. It was the Angels over Colorado 10-3. Oakland beat the Pirates 3-2. Boston over San Francisco 5-1. It is now 8-1. Texas over Houston. They're in the bottom of the sixth. And Arlington in the one intra-league game, San Diego beat Florida 4-2.
Now the top of the order, and Rafael Furcal, who's walked, bunt singled, and then hit a sac fly. He's got a runner at second, Reed Johnson, with one out in the sixth. And the pitch outside. Well, you can imagine Robertson's job. His job is to hold the Dodgers at 5. The Yankees have 3 innings left to try to get 3 runs, at least 3 runs. They trail 5-2. That'll be a 1-0. Pitch low. You know, one little fact about Reed Johnson's contribution in the ball game. He's 3 for 3. Now the 2-0 up for a strike. We count 2-1. Anyway, you wonder about leadoff hitters, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Reed Johnson's led off 3 innings. And he's led off with 3 hits. He's batting 8th, by the way. And it started 3 rallies. The 2-1 is low. That was a breaking ball. Backdoor breaking ball. Missed the count 3-1. So that's where your leadoff hitter's been today. Reed Johnson batting 8th. And boy, has it worked. In the 3 innings, 1, he led off with a double. They scored 3. 1, he led off with a double. They scored 2. And now he's led off with a single. The pitch for Cal fouls it off. And the count 3-2.
This game is brought to you by a Tri-State Ford dealer. When it comes to great cars and trucks and great value, no one beats your Tri-State Ford dealer. Ford, drive on home today.
So the count 3-2. You know, when A-Rod was struggling home run wise, not in RBIs and really not in batting average, but people will start saying, well, the hip, can he swing? Can he turn? Does he have any power left? It'd be a 3-2 to Furcal. Pitch high. What happens is something happens and people want a reason. That's all. So, in an Alex case, they try to find the worst reasons. Well, the 2 home runs he's hit in this series were 2 tremendous home runs. He showed pretty good power. Very short swing. Very easy swing. And he's hit 2 tremendous home runs. Gone from the moment he swung the bat. So I guess his power is still there.
And like a pitcher, John, it's so mechanical. When Alex is, and he'll talk very openly about it. We talk about it all the time. When his swing gets too long, he doesn't get the part of the bat on the ball that he wants to. That's all.
There's Rafael Belliard with 2 on and 1 out, a right-hand hitter. And Robertson deals fastball strike. Belliard has struck out. He sacrificed, and that was the one thrown away at first base. They initially gave the air to Cano, but it belonged to Pettit. And then Belliard hit a solo home run. Runners lead first and second, 1 out. And Robertson deals low in the dirt, and the runner's going to move up. So a wild pitch by Robertson, and now second and third and 1 out.
And they do score that a wild pitch. Damaso Marte starting to warm in the Yankee pen. You know, from where we are, we can't see exactly where it bounces because the umpire's in front of us. They're not showing a lot of replays here on our monitor, so we can't really tell you what that was because we can't see where it bounces with both the catcher and the umpire in front of us.
It'll be a 1-1 to Belliard. Infield comes up. Pitch. Hit on the ground right to A-Rod. He comes home. They have Johnson trapped. Losada runs him back toward third. Throws to A-Rod. He threw too soon, and that's going to allow the other runners to move up. Now, that was a mistake of when he threw. So the play goes 5-2-5. But Posada should have waited a little longer before throwing. And then Johnson couldn't have gone back toward home. That allowed the runners to move up to second and third. Now they're bringing the lefty to go after Andre Ethier.
That call to the bullpen was, well, DeMarco Marte comes in to face Andre Ethier, and I saw him over talking to Don Mattingly about DeMarco Marte and what to expect. All hitting coaches keep a book on pitchers.
Ethier has singled, hit a sac fly, and grounded out. A very tough lefty hitter, and he hits lefties. So Joe Girardi uses his two best before Chamberlain and Mo, Robertson and Marte. Second and third, and 2 men out. It's a 5-2 Dodger game, and the pitch is up high, 1-0. Let's see if Marte, if he loses Ethier, if he stays in. Manny Ramirez is on deck. The Dodgers with the 5-2 lead. The Yankees trying their darndest to hold the score at 5 and give themselves a chance in the last 3 innings. Now Posada trots out to talk to Marte.
Now, if there's been a problem, I think, John, with Marte, it's when he gets behind in the count. He's got more walks and strikeouts, I believe. Yeah, 11 walks and 9 strikeouts.
Now the lefty is set. Runners lead, second and third. Pitch. Caught on a miss. High fastball. And the count 1-1. Head to Wendy's for the new $2.99 barbecue bacon deluxe value meals, topped with applewood smoked bacon and barbecue sauce. With fries and a drink, only $2.99 each. There's the 1-1. Breaking ball strike, 1-2.
Threw that slider to him. Ethier didn't think that was a strike, but it was. Slider, 84 miles an hour. Cuts across the plate to the lefty.
Now be a 1-2 from Marte to Ethier, and he struck him out swing with a fastball. Fastball up. So Marte and Robertson preserve the deficit at 3. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left at the end of 6. 5-2 Los Angeles on the Yanks Radio Network, driven by Jeep.
WCBS, New York.
Well, here we go to the top of the 7th. Posada will lead it off, and if the Yankees get down to the 9th spot, first 3 guys are 6, 7, and 8. They'll have to pinch hit for Marte. And here is Kershaw's first pitch, fastball inside, 1-0. And the Yankees trail 5-2, but they got a little closer with the 2-run home run by A-Rod. Posada is 0-for-2. And the pitch high outside, 2-0.
Weekly wrap-up brought to you by Little Debbie Snack Foods. Unwrap a smile. With CC Sabathia earning his 9th win of the season in Friday's 2-1 win, the Yankees now have 3 pitchers with 9 wins each in its first 73 games of the season. Hughes and Pettit, the other 2.
There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count 2-1. Thank you, Little Debbie.
You're welcome, Little John.
It'll be a 2-1. This is the 95th pitch by Kershaw. And the fastball is high, 3-1.
Played by Alan Hale.
Right.
Robin Hood, Errol Flynn.
Yes.
We know, but I'm just trying to.
You're right. And there's the 3-1. Swung on and into the air to left. And Ramirez walks in and makes the catch. Gets one away. Ramirez he didn't make a move. Then he kind of just walked in very nonchalantly, made a very easy catch. And there's one down. Here's Curtis Granderson. That was, there's a million Robin Hoods. That was by far the best Robin.
It's the only one. Errol Flynn is the only one. Basil Rathbone.
Yeah, and Friar Tuck played by Eugene Pillette with the deepest voice in history. The pitch to Grandison is high in the count 1-0.
And the greatest theme song of all time. Okay.
Well, we've sold enough DVDs for Warner Brothers. Pitch is swung on and hit in the air to deep right. Back goes Ethier. He's on the track and makes the catch. A couple of steps on the track, and there are 2 away.
Well, you have movies on the brain here because they keep showing all these movie stars on the screen that are here. Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher. Tom Cruise is here. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jane Seymour. Well, she's not really a movie star, and Alyssa Milano's not a movie star. There's one that they have not shown, and I wonder if it's because Jack Nicholson is wearing a Yankee cap.
Yeah, I saw that too. He is here, and he does have on a Yankee cap.
He's in a lot of Yankee games.
Right. The pitch is a strike. When he comes into New York, he goes to the Yankee game.
And he's sitting front and center with a Yankee cap on, and he's the only one they haven't shown on the screen. Might be the biggest star of all of them.
A little small-minded, don't you think?
Well, we are in everybody else.
The pitch is a strike, a breaking ball. The count 0-2. Huffman only one at bat since he replaced Brett Gardner, left with a bruised forearm, and he singled cleanly in the shortstop hole. He's behind 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Hit hard to third. Grabbed beautifully by Blake. Throws across in time. Now Kershaw, in what might be his last inning, has a 1-2-3. We have played 6.5. The Dodgers have a 5-2 lead on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep.
For the Dodgers, 5 runs on 7 hits. They've made no errors. The Yankees, 2 runs on 4 hits, and they have made 2 errors. Been a sloppy game for the Yankees. They have been small ball to death here. And good news on Brett Gardner is that he will not require x-rays. He's got a bruise of the forearm. He will not require x-rays, and he is day to day. I guess we're waiting for ESPN because now we got the signal that we can go ahead with this game.
Let's take 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
Best teams in New York play on WCBS 880 AM.
John Sterling, Susan Wellman back at Dodger Stadium, bottom of the 7th, 5-2 Dodgers. Here's Manny Ramirez, 0 for 2 with an intentional walk. Marte, the lefty, stays on and deals a breaking ball strike.
And Manny 1 for 2 with a walk, so a very small sample off of Damaso Marte.
Dodger bullpen busy. Now Marte will deal 0-1 to Manny. And there is a strike. And the count 0-2.
Manny just 9 home runs away from catching Reggie Jackson for 13th all-time on the list. He's got 550.
Here's the 0-2. Up high fastball. The count 1-2.
Voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send your favorite Yankees to the Midsummer Classic by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com.
Marte got a big out. He came in with second and third and faced left-hand hitting Andre Ethier. Now Marte ready for the 1-2. And a high fly to right center. Grandison calling. He makes a catch in right center. And there's 1 away. Anyway, came in to face Ethier. and struck him out. And I wanted to comment on that, Susan, because either struck out swinging, but at the end of the inning, and we went to commercial, I just happened to look on the field, and he was really giving it to Chris Gruccione, and obviously had to be on an earlier strike because he struck out swinging. Joe Torre came out of the dugout to yank him away.
Well, first what happened, Mariano Duncan came down and tried to push him away.
Here is Casey Blake. There's a strike.
And he walked right around him and kept going at Guccione, and then Torre came out and put his arm around him, and Ethier was still screaming at Guccione as he went back to the dugout.
He didn't want to get him thrown out.
Right.
It'll be an 0-1 to Blake. The pitch corked to deep left field. Back goes Huffman on the track, makes the catch on the edge of the track. And there are two away. Nice play by Huffman. The Yankees are back in business. Get exactly what your business needs from Time Warner Cable Business Class. Customized solutions for your business. Visit them at twcbc.com.
Well, the hard-throwing right-hander Ronald Belisario is up, so I guess, John, that would be enough for Kershaw. He was almost at 100 pitches.
I would think so. Now here's Loney, a left-hand hitter, and the pitch high from Marte.
Well, I think one thing we've learned, they got some talent in that bullpen. Now, if there's a problem on this Dodger team, and we haven't seen a lot of it, but because Kershaw's been great, is the inconsistency of their starters.
The 1-0. There's a strike with a fastball. I think I have neglected to tell you that the 7th-inning stretch tonight was sponsored by the BMW 7 Series. Check one out at your local Tri-State BMW Center or at tristatebmw.com. Loney 0 for 2 with a walk, and the pitch, fastball missed outside, 2-1. Now, Marte's 2-1. There's a fastball strike, and the count 2-2. In the rolls, there's no question that without Aceves, without Mitre, Marte and Robertson set up Chamberlain and Rivera. It'll be a 2-2 to Loney. Pitch, breaking ball outside. But Susan, they really would love to get Aceves and Mitre back, and you never hear any word about how close they are.
Well, I do know that both Aceves and Mitre are going to throw off a mound for the first time tomorrow in Tampa. Even if it goes well, that's a long way away. You know, I think if one of them is coming back first, it's Mitre because he's been out the least time.
The payoff is foul back.
But they're both going to try and throw tomorrow, and then by Tuesday we'll have some idea. I don't know if there's any idea. How many times have we heard, someone throwing off a mound in Tampa and they never get here? So we sort of wait. Dave Island, by the way, will be back from his personal leave on Tuesday.
That'll be a payoff from Marte. Swung on and popped up. Down from first to Scher, right near the bag, in front of the bag. Makes the catch. And Marte has a 1-2-3. Nothing across for Los Angeles. Now, at the end of 7 innings of play, it's 5-2 Dodgers on the Yanks Radio Network, driven by Jeep.
Little Debbie Snacks. We're proud to be the #1 snack cake brand in America and a supporter of your New York Yankees.
Well, the new pitcher for the Dodgers is hard-throwing righty Ronald Belisario, who's 28 years old, from Maracay, Venezuela. And his stats this year, he's been on the restricted list for a while. He was reinstated from the restricted list at the end of April. And he's 1-1 with an ERA of 4.45. He's been in 30 games so far. He has yet to earn a save in the major leagues. And but his longest outing is 2 innings, and he's done that 3 times.
I'll give you the numbers on Kershaw, which are really very impressive, especially in one area. Here's Colin Curtis to lead off. He's pinch hitting for Marte. He's a left-hand hitter. And the pitch is low Now, Curtis has made a big impression on the Yankees. I know he's had so few at-bats, but he's had a couple of hits, drawn a walk, and really looks like a pretty good lefty hitter. It'll be a 1-0 from Belisario, and the pitch outside, the count 2-0. Yankees down by 3. So they would be more than happy to take the walk, and that's what was impressive about Kershaw. 7 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. And he's been averaging 5 walks per 9, the 2-0. There's a strike at the knees, the count 2-1. He did have 1 hit batsman. Anyway, he was great, and his performance hampered only slightly by the 2-run home run by A-Rod. That'll be a 2-1 to Curtis. A little chopper toward second. Belliard fields, throws, 1 away. Oh, 1 away. Here's Derek Jeter, who is 2 for 3 on the day. Time for the Yankees Power Report, sponsored by Indian Point Energy Center, the region's most reliable source of electric power. Well, we mentioned A-Rod's 2-run home run, the entire Yankee offense today. A-Rod now has 11 home runs, and his 54 RBIs leads the team. He has 54, Cano 50, Teixeira 48, and Swisher 45. Those are leaders in RBIs. I'll give you the home runs in a moment. The pitch to Jeter, and he's knocked down. A fastball up and in, and Jeter got flipped and hits the dirt, and the count 1-0. In home runs, Teixeira has 13. Swisher and A-Rod have 11. Posada 9. Jeter 8. Granderson 7. And, of course, Robbie Cano leads the team with 14 home runs. Now the 1-0. There's a strike. And the count 1-1. The pitch to Derek. Downstairs, the count 2-1.
Fans celebrate the 4th of July at Yankee Stadium. The first 18,000 fans, 14 and younger, receive a set of 27-time world champion ice cream bowls, courtesy of Turkey Hill.
So it'll be a 2-1 to Jeter. 1 out, no one on. We're in the 8th. The Yankees are trailing 5-2. They need base runners, and especially now, they need base runners ahead of their big home run hitters. The 2-1, grounded toward the shortstop hole for Cal Fields. The long throw is not in time, and it goes by Loney. No advance. It goes off the railing of the Yankee dugout screen and comes right back. So Jeter is on. That's an infield single. He rolled the ball perfectly in the shortstop hole, and he was going to beat it anyway.
Yeah, you're right, John. Even if he had made a perfect throw, which he didn't, Jeter looked like was going to beat that out. And the official scorer here in L.A. immediately said that's a base hit.
And that, by the way, if I didn't mention, is the Yankee Power Report for the night, sponsored by Indian Point Energy Center. Honestly, I can't remember if I said it or not. Isn't that funny? Now here's Swisher, and he's a very important batter. If he gets on, then you have the tying run coming up into Teixeira and A-Rod. Pitch, strike, fastball. Well, you didn't call it a strike, and the count 1-0.
Well, Belisario is firing that fastball around 92, 93. So far, that's all he's thrown.
Swisher 0 for 3 as Switch hitter batting left. And the pitch low outside. That's a sinking fastball. The count 2-0. Oh, Swisher head on the count 2-0. 5-2 Dodgers were in the 8th. 1 on and 1 out. Now the right-hander Belisario deals. There is a strike. You know, we're talking about teams that made hay in interleague. Texas is winning 10-1 over Houston. They're in the ninth. When they win that game, they'll be 14-4 in interleague. They've opened a good lead. Pitch is grounded to first. Loney steps on the bag, throws to second. Double play. Nice play. The force was taken off when Loney hit the bag, but he threw in plenty of time to get Jeter. It's a 3-6 double play. No runs, one hit, no one left. Now at the end of 7.5, it's 5-2 Dodgers on the Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Find your local dealer at searchmercedes.com, your source for everything Mercedes-Benz.
Tommaso Marte pitches an inning and a third. Phase 4, retired 4, had a strikeout. And Jabba takes over the pitching in the 8th inning as he tries to hold the Dodgers at 5 and give the Yankees a shot in the 9th inning.
They're going to abuse very easily here.
Number 27,
Colin Curtis has gone to right field. And Java Chamberlain on the mound, as John has just said. And John, the Red Sox have now sustained another awful injury. Victor Martinez has a broken thumb.
Whoa.
So in 3 days, they have lost Clay Buchholz. They don't know how bad that is. They're going to wait and have him examined by the doctor back in Boston. Dustin Pedroia's got a broken foot. He is in a cast that's up to his shin. And now Victor Martinez has a broken thumb. Now, they keep winning, though. They won today 5-1. I think Pedroia is a major loss, but no Ellsbury. He's been hardly there all year. They made a trade and got Eric Patterson from Oakland so he can play a little outfield and a little infield. But now Jason Varitek is the catcher.
Oh, they have to get a catcher, too. Russell Martin will lead off against Jabba, who takes low. The reason why Curtis is playing right, it saves a couple of batters. So Chamberlain goes into the 2 spot, Swisher spot. Curtis, a lefty hitter, will bat 9th, where he pinch hit. So in case they have a long rally in the 9th inning, they'll have a left-hand hitter coming up. Pitch is inside. In other words, it saves Curtis. They have no other left-hand hitter. Well, the Pena's a switch hitter. There'll be a 2-0 from Jabba to Martin. And the pitch is low. The count 3-0. The Dodgers have a 5-2 lead. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jabba's job is to hold him at 5. Yankees have Teixeira, A-Rod, and Cano, and Posada. So they have big hitters coming up in the 9th inning. The pitch. There's a strike in the count 3-1.
Yankees will fly home tonight. We get in early in the morning, probably about 6 o'clock in the morning. Have the day off tomorrow, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, in come the Seattle Mariners. It'll be Hughes, Vasquez, and Sabathia against Cliff Lee, Felix Hernandez, and they have not named a pitcher for Thursday.
The 3-1 is grounded foul outside of first. I had something, Susan, that told me it was going to be the lefty Ryan Roland Smith. I don't know where I saw that. I saw it somewhere, though.
Well, I'm just reading off the Seattle notes.
Oh, boy, their top 2 pitches are going Cliff Lee and then King Felix.
Yep.
You can beat them, but you better get good pitching.
Very difficult season. Very disappointing. For Seattle, they really thought they were good enough to make a run, and then they just did not hit at all.
Here's the 3-2. Low. So Martin walks to lead off the 8th. Well, I think we'll find out from the Seattle people, but one of their biggest problems anyway is the fact they get Sean Figgins, who always has been a good hitter, and I think he's hitting around 230.
Yep. that, and of course all the problems with Milton Bradley, and then the Griffey problems and him retiring in the middle of the season so he wouldn't be a distraction. That's what happens when teams lose. Things go wrong.
Well, today the Dodgers decided to give Matt Kemp a rest. And boy, are the Yankees sorry they did. Here's Reed Johnson, who's filled his place with a double, and a single. And the doubles led off the innings where the Dodgers scored their 5 runs, 3 in the third and 2 in the fourth.
And this must be a nice place for Reed Johnson to play. He's from Riverside, California, went to Cal State Fullerton, so this is probably a kick for him to be a Dodger.
And Jabba deals. Johnson looking to bunt, takes low on the count 1-0.
I think you'd have to say early in this game that the Dodgers small-balled the Yankees to death. The more you make people field the ball, particularly pitchers, the more apt they are to make a mistake.
Throw to first by Jabba. Nothing doing. It'll be a 1-0 to Reed Johnson. Now Jabba is set, and here's the 1-0. Bunted at, but fouled behind the plate. And the count 1-1. We are coming to you live from the Lowe's broadcast booth. Let's build something together. That'll be a 1-1 to Reed Johnson. Now Jabba is set. And the 1-1 bunted and popped foul. So now the bunt doesn't work. After Johnson doubled, Kershaw bunted and Pettit threw it away. Cal bunted for a hit. Belliard bunted and again Pettit threw it away. And that's how they scored 3 runs. Then there's a sac fly in the third inning. In the fourth inning, Johnson doubled, bunted to third, scored on a sac fly, and then Belliard hit a home run. And those are the 5 runs. Without the bunts, Yanks are in good shape. If only they outlawed bunts for today. Now Chamberlain will deal 1-2. Hit on the ground to third. A-Rod feeds Cano on to first. Double play. 5-4-3 DP, 2 away.
A good comeback by Jabba there to get him on the slider.
Now 2 down, and the Dodgers will pinch hit because they're going to go to undoubtedly Broxton, their closer.
And Jamie Carroll, the veteran infielder, is coming up. You know what? The power of this radio broadcast, I got a text last night. Actually, I was Facebooked by somebody because I said Jonathan Broxton was coming into some song. John and I have no idea what it is. Well, he told me. It's called Iron Man, and it's by Black Sabbath. And you have all their albums, John, I know. Black Sabbath. Right. So that's the song. So thank you out there. It's amazing who listen. You ask a question, you get an answer on this broadcast.
That's good. We want answers. The pitch. We have so few ourselves. The pitch is low. The count 1-0.
I never would have guessed Iron Man by Black Sabbath. So thank you very much. We just got a close-up of it.
I like one of the Black Sabbath albums, the best of Sammy Kahn. I really kind of time after time. The pitch to Carroll is cut on him. He got 1-1. Hey, you know, Belliard, who had one of those bunts thrown away and hit a home run, he is, although he's a right-handed hitting second baseman to platoon with Blake DeWitt, but they've been using Carroll instead of Belliard. Well, today they used Belliard, so Mr. Torrey pushing all the right buttons today. The 1-1 is grounded to third. Backhanded by A-Rod. The long throw is not in time. Carroll beat it out for an infield single. It was a high bouncer. A-Rod had to grab it deep behind third, reared back, threw his best fastball, threw a very good throw, but Carroll beat it out. So a 2-out infield single, and here's Rafael Furcal.
The Dodgers from here go up to San Francisco, and they play tomorrow. And Joe Torre said, because Dodgers-Giants is a very emotional time, and he said after these 3 games here against the Yankees, that'll be like a vacation.
Right. He was mentioning that on the field. Well, there's a million members of the media here. After all, they've drawn 56,000 for each game. And there may be more media than that in the press box.
Well, you know what? It took them 3 days, but they got Alex and Joe hugging. They waited 3 days for that. It finally happened.
I'll throw to first, not in time for Cal. Who's been a good little leadoff man all series. Has walked, bunt singled, hit a sac fly, and walked. 5-2 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th. The pitch, there's strike on the outside corner, the count 0-1.
And I think the main thing we found from some of our buddies on the coaching staff, East Coast baseball and West Coast baseball, very, very different. As one coach said to me, if they win here, it's nice. If they don't, they go to the beach. It's not the same in New York, Philadelphia, Boston. It's life or death there. If you lose, you pay a penalty. You're not supposed to lose.
That'll be an 0-1. There goes Carroll. The pitch is hit in the air down the left field line toward the corner, and it lands foul right down in the corner. He missed a home run by just a few seats.
Because there's very little foul territory here, and that was out there. He missed that maybe 2 seats, 1 seat, 2 seats by the pole. They're not showing a lot of replays on this monitor tonight. Our corner is blocked from our booth. We can't see the corner, but
yeah, it couldn't have been more than a couple of seats because it was around the bend. That'd be an 0-2 to Furcal. Carroll leads off first. And Jabba, there goes the runner again. The pitch is grounded foul outside of third. Well, the count holds 0-2. You can't play hit and run with 2 strikes because if the batter, let's say the pitch is implausibly high or low, and the batter swings and misses, that's it. That's the end of the inning. So Carroll is simply running, and for Cal, he has to decide if he's going to swing or not. So I guess that's called run and hit. Chamberlain tosses to first. I don't think that toss is going to keep Carroll close to the bag, but again, Jabba throws over. This one a little harder.
Well, John, you look at Furcal, he's had a season against the Yankees. Every time you turn around, he's either on base or coming up to about to be on base.
Yeah, he's done a great job leadoff hitter in the series. Now Chamberlain is set, be an 0-2, and the pitch out, and the throw to second base is low and goes off the glove of Jeter. Stolen base for Carroll.
And that was not a good throw by Posada. And he'll be the first one to tell you that. He threw it on the ground, and he threw it to the side of second base. Just a terrible throw. And so surprising because it was a pitch out. He had a clear shot, and he threw it to the third base side of the bag. Jeter couldn't handle it. Not a good throw at all. Even if he had made the catch, Jeter, he still would have had to swipe him across his body, and he wouldn't have gotten him anyway.
Absolutely. Absolument. It'll be a 1-2 to Furcal. Jabba is set. And the 1-2. Line hard. Base hit. Inside first. Down the right field line. Rolling to the right field corner. It'll be an extra base hit. Furcal goes to second and holds on. It's a ribby double for Rafael Furcal. A hot shot in the bag, inside the bag at first. And the Dodgers take a 6-2 lead.
And the second RBI tonight for Cal. And he's been tremendous. Has had RBIs or been on base in every game. He's played a tremendous 3-game series against the Yankees. And that pitch, a breaking pitch, and it started around his belt, and it broke down around thigh high. Easy pickings.
Belliard swings and misses at a breaking ball away, slider away in the count 0-1. Now, I think Carroll would have scored anyway, but it was helped by stealing second. A hot shot right inside the bag. So Furcal has had added to his great series. There is the 0-1. Pop foul, first base out of play in the count 0-2. Furcal has been on base 4 times today. And had 3 hits yesterday. He has been very tough. Pitch hit on the ground, wide of third, fielded by Jeter. The long throw is in time. Teixeira made a nice one-hop pickup. But the Dodgers get one more insurance run, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. And now at the end of 8 innings of play, 6-2 Dodgers on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep.
Hyundai Assurance is valid on any new Hyundai model financed or leased at participating dealers only for up to 1 year after purchase. Restrictions apply. See dealer for limited warranty details.
Hi, this is Derek Jeter. Keep that radio set to WCBS 880.
Well, the closer, Jonathan Broxton, comes on. Belisario goes an inning, no runs, 1 hit, no strikeouts or walk. Chamberlain in the 8th gave up a run. 1 inning, 1 run, 2 hits, no strikeouts, and 1 walk. Garrett Anderson goes to left. Now the right-hander Broxton deals, and the pitch is low to Teixeira. That'll be a 1-0 to Teixeira. Pitch. There's a strike. And Jamie Carroll stayed in the game to play second. I think those are the only 2 changes. Anderson replacing Ramirez in left, and Carroll at second replacing Belliard. It'll be a 1-1 to Teixeira, leading off the 9th for the Yanks, and the pitch is lined foul down the right field line. Well, the Yankees trail by 4, 6-2. Ironically, the run the Dodgers scored with 2 outs, Carroll beating out the infield hit to deep short, stealing second, scoring on Furcal's double, eliminates the save for Broxton. A 4-run lead is not a save. That'll be a 1-2 to Teixeira. Now the right-hander Broxton is set. And the 1-2. Strike 3, 1 away. Now 1 away, here is A-Rod, whose 2-run home run has kept the Yankees from being shut out to this point. In the 6th inning, A-Rod hit a 2-run home run. And those are the Yankee runs. 6-2 Dodgers in the 9th, 1 out, no one on. And the big right-hander deals, hit on the ground in the hole, it's a base hit left field. I mean, it doesn't exactly take a nuclear scientist to realize that A-Rod has getting his swing down. And I think Yankee fans, now this is You say, well, is it wishful thinking? Well, I guess it is. But I think Yankee fans and Yankees can expect a much better second half from both A-Rod and Teixeira. This is the Yankees' 75th game. 81 is halfway, so they'll get to 81 at the end of the next homestand. 3 against Seattle and 3 against Toronto. Here's Robbie Cano with 1 out. A-Rod takes second. Pitches low. That's defensive indifference. Cano is 0 for 3. (6-2) Dodgers in the Yankee ninth with 1 out and the 1-0. There is a strike on the inside corner. And the count 1-1. Now Broxton has said be a 1-1 to Cano. And the fastball is high and the count 2-1. Jorge Posada on deck. But of course the Yankees can't think of a rally until they have 3 men on that would set up the tying run. And right now they only have 1 man on. A-Rod at second with 1 out. Here's a 2-1. Grounded over the bag at first and past Loney down the right field line. Rolling to the right field corner, extra bases. A-Rod scores. Cano to second with a double. So a ribby double by Cano, and the Dodger lead is now 5-3. In these tough economic times, keep your family safe and secure with a gift of financial strength from New York Life Insurance Company. 165 years of experience helps ensure your loved ones will always be taken care of. New York Life, the company you keep. So Cano doubles in the run, and it is 6-3. Robbie's 51st RBI. Now you see how big the run was in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 outs, no one on. Infield single, stolen base, and the double for Cal. Because without that run, Posada in the batter's box would be the tying run. You never know. Broxton will deal to Posada. The pitch, strike. Outside corner of the knees. I mean, it's obvious that you never know, but that's why managers who have the lead want to tack on runs. And boy, that run, the 6th run, was a big tack on. There'll be an 0-1 to Georgie. Grounded foul off first, and the count 0-2. Posada 0 for 3. And if it was 5-3 and he was the tying run, then the guy up after him would ostensibly also be the tying run, Granderson. And he's another guy can hit it out. So the Yankees need another base runner. And Posada behind on the count 0-2. Now the right-hander's 0-2. Swung on and chopped foul outside of first. Posada had stepped out. He's back in. Cano leads off second safely, and the 0-2 outside. The count 1-2. The Dodgers really don't care about Cano, so no one is trying to keep him close. For Cal, is playing Posada, left-hand hitter now, a little bit up the middle. Carroll is way away from the plate. He's in the first base hole, toward the first base hole anyway. Now Broxton will deal 1-2, and the pitch grounded foul behind the plate. Now, once again, it'll be a 1-2 to Posada. And the pitch swung on and grounded to first. Foul ball, just foul. So the Yankees and Posada got a break as that ball bounced just outside the line. And the count holds at 1-2. Now, once again, Broxton climbs back on top. And the big right-hander will deal 1-2 to Posada, low, in the count 2-2. Yankees need one more man to get on base, and they will send up the tying run. With the hard-throwing Broxton, the center fielder, Reed Johnson, plays Posada a little bit over in left center. Now Posada steps out. And Broxton will deal 2-2. Swung on and foul back. So the count holds 2-2. Pretty good at bat for Georgie. Cano, the base runner, at second. And it'll be a 2-2 to Posada. Low on the count, 3-2. Well, ball 4 would allow Granderson to be the tying run. So for the Yankees, it really doesn't matter if Posada hits one 500 feet or if he gets ball 4. They still need one more run. So here is a big pitch. Now the right-hander is set. And here's the 3-2. Swung on line, base hit, right field. Cano goes to third. They'll hold him. They're down by 3 runs. So Posada rings the bell with a hard line drive to right. And the Yankees down 6-3. Have first and third, one out. And here's the tying run, Curtis Granderson. And boy, the run in the 8th inning, the so what run, the excuse me run, the cherry on top of the sundae now means a whole lot. If it's 5-3, well, the tying runs are on. But it's 6-3, and here is Granderson. Now, Joe Torre goes to the mound. Not the pitching coach, Rick Honeycutt. Granderson is 0 for 3. But as you know, he's got home run power. He's at 7 homers this year. A right-hand hitter is on deck, Chad Huffman. And then the left-hand hitter, Colin Curtis, and that's why they kept Curtis in the game with a double switch. But right now, it's Granderson. Curtis is 0 for 3. Runners lead first and third. 1 out, and the pitch, breaking ball low, and the count 1-0. Reed Johnson in center field plays about 5 steps over in left center. And Broxton deals, and there's a strike. Posada takes second. That's defensive indifference. The Dodgers were not playing it. And again, that run really means nothing. Granderson has to score or the game's over. So the Yanks have second and third and 1 out. It'll be a 1-1 to Granderson. The pitch. Fastball outside. The count 2-1 as he stays away. Fastball was at 94, but off the plate. Well, the count 2-1 on Granderson. Remember, a few nights ago, Granderson won the game in Arizona in the 10th inning with a long home run to right. It'll be a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and pop foul, third base out of play. And the count 2-2. It's 6-3 Dodgers. We're in the 9th with 1 out. The Yanks have runners second and third. Granderson is the tying run. It'll be a 2-2 from Broxton. And the pitch is foul tip to stay alive. Granderson taking a moment out of the box. I think he fouled the pitch off his foot. Now Curtis back in the batter's box. It'll be a 2-2. Now the right hand is 2-2. Breaking ball low, 3-2. If Granderson walks, then the tying runs would be on base and Huffman would be the go-ahead run. No, it's 3-2 to Granderson. The runners lead second and third, 1 out. And Broxton set. Here's the payout. Swung on, foul back. And the count holds at 3-2. Russell Martin, the catcher, goes out to talk to Broxton as they walk between the plate and the mound. Most of the crowd standing here at Dodger Stadium. And once again, it'll be a 3-2 to Granderson. Cano off third, Posada off second with 1 out. And Broxton is set. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. They're loaded up. No one can ever forecast what's going to happen in a baseball game. Do you know that's the first walk the Dodgers have given up? Isn't that amazing? So the tying runs are on base. Cano at third would be the 4th run. Posada at second to be the 5th run. And the fastest of the Yankees on base, Granderson, is the tying run. Here's right-handed hitting Chad Huffman. He's 1 for 2. And Broxton deals low 1-0. A left-handed who's on deck, Colin Curtis. Bases loaded, 1 out, top of the ninth. It's 6-3 Dodgers. And the right-hander Broxton deals. There's a strike, and the count 1-1. The Dodgers get up the lefty George Sherrill and the right-hander Ramon Troncoso. Now be a 1-1 to Huffman. Bases loaded, 1 out of the ninth. Pitch. Swung on a line. There's a base hit to right field. Cano scores. Here comes Posada, and he scores. And on to third goes Granderson. A 2-run single by Chad Huffman. He fought off a pitch to right field, and the Yankees trail 6-5 and have the tying run at third with 1 man out. What a big hit for the kid. Chad Huffman's third major league hit. His second was earlier in the game, and the Yankees now trail 6-5, have first and third 1 out, and they can score a run. They can tie the game without benefit of a hit. Colin Curtis will be the hitter, and a fly ball or a slow ground ball will tie the game. So Huffman comes through with a 2-run single. And Granderson, who is so fast, went all the way to third on the line drive single to right, and he can score and tie the game on an out. So it is 6-5. And here is Colin Curtis, who grounded out as a pinch hitter last inning. But the Yankees kept him in the game just for this reason, because they would get to Curtis, the ninth spot, faster than Swisher, who made the last out in the 2-hole. The Yankees need a fly ball to tie. Runners lead first and third. 1 out, 3 runs are in, and the Yankees trail 6-5. And the right-hander Broxton deals, swung on, and pop foul, third base out of play, and the count 0-1. Curtis broke his bat. He's going to get another club. The Yankees could tie the game with a fly ball. Don't forget, Granderson at third has great speed. They can tie the game with a fly ball, or even if Curtis mishits and it's a ground ball. The infield is back. At second and short, looking for the double play ball to end the game. Now Broxton will deal 0-1. Swung on, foul, third base out of play, and the count 0-2. Oh, a terrific rally by the Yanks after Teixeira struck out. A-Rod single, Cano doubled him in. Posada singled Cano to third. Granderson walked to load the bases, a great at bat, and then Huffman singled in too. And it's 6-5. Los Angeles, first and third, 1 out. There'll be an 0-2 to Curtis. The right-hander Broxton holds the set. And the pitch is low, and the count 1-2. Curtis has to try and make contact, obviously. And if he can, get the ball out of the infield. In the infield, Furcal moving near second, and the second baseman Carroll is shaded up the middle, and there's a hole that Loney holds the runner on. It'll be a 1-2 to Curtis, way inside. Nice block by Martin, or the game would be tied, and the count 2-2. Derek Jeter is on deck. Well, what a comeback this would be if the Yankees could at least tie it up. It'll be a 2-2 to Colin Curtis, a left-hand hitter. With the speedy Granderson, the tying run at third. Huffman at first is the go-ahead run. And Broxton will deal 2-2 to Curtis. High outside, 3-2. So he tried to make him bite on 3 pitches off the plate. Now you know he wants to throw a strike. So for Curtis, he might see a more hittable strike with the count 3-2. A walk would push the go-ahead run to second base, and there still would be only 1 out. Grandison is at third. He probably will start on contact on a ground ball. It'll be a 3-2 to Curtis. The pitch swung on and grounded foul outside of first. So the count holds at 3-2. Five straight batters have reached. 3 have scored. The tying run is Grandison at third. And the go-ahead run at first is Chad Huffman, who just came through with a 2-run single. The count has gone full 3-2 on Colin Curtis, who's battled back from 0-2 down. Now the right-hander Broxton is set. It'll be a 3-2 to Curtis. The pitch swung on and foul back. The one thing, I'm sitting here with Carlos Silva, and we both look at each other. This kid, whether he strikes out or not, has a great lefty swing. This guy's going to be a good hitter. And be a full-time regular or bench player. And he is a good lefty-looking hitter. He's trying to make contact and bring in Grandison at third, the tying run. Once again, it'll be a 3-2 from Broxton. And the pitch swung on and fouled deep down the left field line. If that ball was fair, they say straighten it out. That would have tied the game. Garrett Anderson in left field has a very weak arm. And Grandison at third is a very fast runner. So once again, he's fouled off 3 pitches on 3-2. Curtis has had a heck of an at-bat. Once again, it'll be a 3-2 to Curtis. The right-hander Broxton holds a set high. And here's the payoff. Swung on and fouled back. He's fouled off 4 straight 3-2 pitches. And in the 9th inning, Broxton has thrown 39 pitches. It's not going to help the Yankees, but it will help the San Francisco Giants, who play the Dodgers next. Broxton be on the shelf for a couple of days. Well, once again, how about this kid fouling off these pitches? Broxton is one of the top closers in the game. And Curtis continues to make contact, 3-2. Once again, it'll be a 3-2. And the pitch swung on and grounded to first. Loney tags home, throws home, not in time. Grandison is safe. Curtis got the job done. The Yankees tie the game at 6. Loney made the play at first. He threw a little to the first base side of home, and Grandison slid in. And one of the best Yankee rallies of the year. They score 4 in the 9th, tied the game at 6, have the lead run at second with 2 out, and here is Derek Jeter. And they're going to walk Jeter on 4 pitches. I thought Loney made a nice play. He tagged first, and he threw home. It's not a force play, it's a tag play. And Grandison, who's so speedy, slid in before Martin could turn to tag him. So, what an at-bat for Colin Curtis. And how about the kids, Huffman and Curtis, back-to-back, knocking in 3 runs. Curtis kept fouling off pitches and finally made contact, kept the ball in play, and knocked in the tying run at 6. Well, Huffman went to second. Jeter is intentionally walked. And now the 9th batter in the inning will come up. Remember, they put Chamberlain in the 2-hole when they double switched, and it worked because Curtis just drove in the tying run. Now Francisco Cervelli will come up and hit for the pitcher. The Yankees tie the game at 6 in a great rally, a great comeback. And they have the go-ahead run at second in Chad Huffman. They have the captain at first. And now the right-hand hitting Cervelli will come up. And Broxton has thrown 44. Well, let's say he's thrown 40 because the last 4 pitches were just lobs on the intentional walk. But when a reliever throws 40 pitches in an inning, that's a lot of pitches. Now here's Francisco Cervelli. Cervelli at 279, no homers, 29 RBIs. Huffman is the key runner. He's at second. He's the go-ahead run. Runners lead first and second, 2 out. And Broxton deals caught on a miss. Four runs for the Yankees in the 9th inning to tie the game. Mark Teixeira is the on-deck hitter, hoping to get a chance. There'll be an 0-1 to Cervelli. And the pitch, breaking ball high, 1-1. Teixeira began the inning by striking out with 1 out and 0 on, and the Yankees down 4. They rally to tie the game. Wow, what a rally. Huffman leads off second. It's important to Huffman to get a good enough lead so he can score on a base hit. That'll be a 1-1 to Cervelli. Cut out, missed. And the count 1-2. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Huffman leads off second. He really should widen his lead a little bit. Jeter at first. And the pitch swung on, a little chopper to second. Carroll throws to first to end the inning. But the Yankees get off the deck and score 4 to tie the game. 4 runs on 4 hits and 2 left. And now at the end of 8.5 innings of play, the Yankees 6, the Dodgers 6 on the Yankees radio network driven by Jeep.
.com to learn more. Thank you.
Let's take 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
Hi, this is Javier Vasquez. Your home for Yankee baseball is the same place New York turns for the best news, traffic, weather, and business. WCBS 880, America's #1 news radio.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Dodger Stadium. Mariano Rivera comes on to pitch in the bottom of the 9th inning. And he will face Ethier, Anderson, and Blake. Remember, Garrett Anderson replaced Manny Ramirez in the 9th inning, so he bats in his spot. The pitcher is batting in the 2-hole. So the Dodger lineup is now for Kyle, pitcher's spot. Ethier leads off the inning. Ethier, Anderson, Blake, Loney, Martin, Johnson, and Carroll's batting 9th. Well, the Yankees get off the deck. They get 4 in the 9th to tie the game, and it began with a strikeout. And the great at-bats. Granderson at-bat was a great at-bat, getting the walk. Huffman, the 2-run single, and the best bat of all, Colin Curtis fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch at 3-2, and finally getting the ground ball to score the tying run. Now here's Ethier against Mariano, and the pitch a strike. Mo pitched in the first game and struck out the side, Ramirez, Kemp, and Loney. Ethier, a left-hand hitter. Now we're all tied at 6, bottom of the 9th. And Rivera deals foul back in the count 0-2. What a comeback, huh? Ethier has singled, hit a sac fly, grounded out, and struck out. Now the 0-2. It's grounded toward the middle. Jeter fields behind second, throws to first. One away. Now one away. Here is Garrett Anderson. Anderson hitting at only 191, 2 homers and 11 RBIs, and 115 at-bats. When he was an Angel in his salad days, he just wore out the Yankees. A very good lefty hitter with power. Rivera deals low in the count 1-0. Well, the Yankees have used their other catcher, Cervelli, so Posada must go it alone. One out, no one on. We're in the bottom of the ninth. We're tied at 6. And Rivera deals high. And the count 2-0. Now, Mo's 2-0 is inside the count 3-0. Anderson has played a little bit. He has 115 at-bats. And ahead on the count 3-0. Rivera deals strike in the count 3-1. Mariano's been as great as ever. He had not a blip. He was normal. He's human. And he had a couple of games where he gave up runs. It'll be a 3-1. And there's a strike. The count 3-2. And, of course, when he gives up a run, is he finished? Is he done? Is that it? And you know what his ERA was coming into today? Under 1, 0.99. He's raised the bar so high. That's what happens. Well, he's come back to 3-2 on Garrett Anderson, the lefty hitter, with 1 out, no one on, bottom of the ninth. Mo at the belt, and here's the 3-2. Swung on and line to left. Huffman makes the catch. He went to left center a little bit to make the grab, and there are 2 away. If you look ahead to the 10th inning, and the Yankees are 1 out away from getting to the 10th, you have the big hitters coming up, Teixeira, A-Rod, and Cano. Now there's an argument going on the field. Joe Torre is trying to keep Garrett Anderson away. It was on the second strike, obviously, because then he flied out to left center. And remember the argument that Ethier had when Torre had to pull him away from Chris Guccione on a called strike. It wasn't the last strike as he swung and missed. But anyway, that's the argument that's going on. Now, Garrett Anderson was arguing, obviously not about the fly ball out, but on the second strike that made it 3-2 from 3-1. So meanwhile, Torre is defending his player like he should. And he and Guccione are having a tete-a-tete on the third base side of home plate. There are 2 outs, no one on. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Yankees rallied dramatically in the ninth inning to score 4 runs and tie the game at 6. Now Guccione, who first went behind the plate, the third base umpire Jerry Crawford has come down to play peacemaker. And now Torre is talking to him as they walk toward the Dodger dugout. Torre and Jerry Crawford. We're going to look at the 3-1 pitch in a moment. That was a strike. It was right at the knees. So they're a two-way. And here is right-handed hitting Casey Blake, who is 1 for 4. And Rivera deals, swung on a high pop foul, first base side, but in the seats. Anyway, the Yankees will have their big hitters up, and they certainly won't be facing Broxton, who threw near 50 pitches in the 9th inning. They'll have Teixeira, A-Rod, Cano, and should anyone get on, Posada. The 0-1. Line to left field. It is a foul ball. Just missed. A line drive right down the line. Just missed a double. And the count 0-2. Of course, the Yankees have to get to the 10th inning. And to do that, they have to get Casey Blake. A left-hand hitter is next. And that's James Loney. It'll be an 0-2 to Blake. Now Mariano is set, and the pitch struck him out swinging. Fastball up. So Blake strikes out. Mo has a 1-2-3, and we go to extra innings. And now, at the end of 9 innings of play, the Yankees 6, the Dodgers 6 on the Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Back by popular demand. Better than ever.
Wendy's, you know when it's real.
Extra Innings is sponsored by Wendy's. Head to Wendy's for the new $2.99 Barbecue Bacon Deluxe Value Meals. Topped with Applewood smoked bacon and barbecue sauce. With fries and a drink, only $2.99 each. Matt Kemp, the regular center fielder, goes to center. Reed Johnson shifts to left. Garrett Anderson comes out of the lineup. And right-hander Ramon Troncoso will come in to pitch. And he'll face Teixeira. Man, the fastball is high, 1-0. Troncoso is 1-1 at an ERA of 5.51. Give you his stats so you get an idea of who Troncoso is. And the right-hander deals high. Hard-throwing right-hander. In 33 innings, 34 hits. Walked 11, struck out 22. Given up 6 home runs. That'll be a 2-0 to Teixeira. And the pitch. A half swing, a strike. On a pitch that really was ball 3. Teixeira is 0-for-4 on the night. We're tied at 6. We're in the top of the 10th inning. The Yankees rallied dramatically for 4 in the 9th to tie the game. That'll be a 2-1. Slide hard, base hit right field. Cutting over toward the line is Ethier. He fields and fires in. So a leadoff single. And here is A-Rod, who hit a 2-run home run back in the 6th for the first 2 Yankee runs. And then ignited the 4-run rally with a base hit with 1 out in the 9th inning. Now Teixeira leads off first. And here's A-Rod. Pitch. There's a strike. Now the Yankees could run either Russo or Ramiro Pena for Teixeira, but you need pinch hitters. Let's say the game keeps going on. You need someone to hit for hitters. And the Yankees are down to 2 players on the bench, Pena and Russo. So Teixeira runs for himself. It'll be an 0-1 to A-Rod. And the pitch grounded, foul outside of third. And the count 0-2. Susan told you it's tough to look into the bullpens. One of the mounds in the Yankee bullpen you can see, the other you can't. And it doesn't look like anyone's throwing. In the Dodger bullpen, there's a lefty up, probably George Sherrill. A-Rod behind on the count 0-2. And the pitch, breaking ball grounded in the hole. Fielded by Furcal, throws to second in time for the out. And there's one away. They never would have gotten A-Rod at first, but Furcal had one play and nailed Teixeira. So 1 on and 1 out. And here is Joe Torre, and he'll bring in the lefty to pitch to Cano. I want to wait for him to give the sign, but I gather that's why he's walking out. No, Joe walking somewhat slowly to the mound. And he takes the ball. Now the veteran lefty George Sherrill comes on, and before we give you Sherrill's stats, just one matchup stat. Robbie Cano is 0 for 11 against Sherrill. Ooh. Pitched against the Yankees for both Seattle and Baltimore. A ground ball in the hole by A-Rod, and Furcal, after Blake missed it on the way by at third, Furcal grabbed it deep in the hole at short. He never would have gotten A-Rod, but he was able to fire to second and just nipped Teixeira, which prevented the Yankees from having first and second and no one out. So they have a runner at first, A-Rod, with 1 out. Sherrill is 0-1 and an ERA of 6.50. He has had a tough year. In 29 games, in 18 innings, he's given up 23 hits. And in 18 innings, he's given up 16 walks, which obviously is 8 walks per 9 innings. And here is Cano, who's never had a hit off him and is 0 for 11. Lifetime. So A-Rod at first with 1 out. And the Force went 6-4. The left-hander Sherrill will deal to Cano. Posada's on deck. Now Sherrill deals. Caught on a missed on the breaking ball. The count 0-1. It is odd that Robbie is 0 for 11. He's such a good hitter. The outfield straight away. 1 on, 1 out in the 10th. The Yankees with 4 in the 9th. Tied the game at 6. Pitch. Fastball. Hit in the air to deep left center. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Robbie Cano drills a 2-run home run. His first hit ever off Sherrill. Robbie Cano, don't you know? A 2-run 10th inning home run. And the Yankees have an 8-6 lead. Oh, baby. What a win this would be. And between you and me and the lamppost, Mariano will be coming out for the 10th inning. Robbie Cano drills his 15th home run. He now has 53 RBIs, and the Yankees take an 8-6 lead. And here's Cano 0 for 11 against Sherrill and drills a 2-run home run to left center. As both A-Rod, Posada fouls it up. Ground ball up the line, and he's thrown out by Martin, and they're 2A. As both A-Rod and Cano come home safely. Now more than ever, you can help keep your family safe and secure with the gift of financial strength from New York Life Insurance Company. Since 1845, they've been helping families ensure their loved ones are always taken care of. New York Life, the company you keep. Posada hit a little dribbler on the third baseline. Martin went out and threw him out, so the play goes 2-3, 2 away, and Grandison takes a strike. But the damage has been done. A 2-run home run by Robbie Cano, and the Yankees have an 8-6 lead. The 0-1 breaking ball strike to Grandison, the count 0-2. Now Mariano has a 2-run lead with which to protect in the bottom of the 10th inning. It'll be an 0-2. Breaking ball outside 1-2. What a dramatic home run by Cano. But if it weren't for the 2 kids at bats in the 9th, he never would have had the chance. Pitch, grounded foul. And Chad Huffman drilled a 2-run single to right, and Colin Curtis in a great at bat. I mean, a great at bat. Fouled off so many 3-2 pitches and hit the ground ball that tied the game. It'll be a 1-2 to Grandison. And the pitch grounded weakly to first. Loney fields. To the bag he goes to end the inning. But the Yankees get 2 runs and 2 hits. The big blow, the 2-run home run by Robbie Cano. And now at the end of 9.5 innings of play, the Yankees 8, the Dodgers 6 on the Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Like the new spicy Chipotle boneless wings and cool creamy Frosty. Wendy's, you know when it's real.
Extra Innings is sponsored by Wendy's. Head to Wendy's for the new $2.99 Barbecue Bacon Deluxe Value Meals. Topped with Applewood smoked bacon and barbecue sauce. With fries and a drink, only $2.99 each. 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
WCBS and WCBS-FM HD3 New York.
Now, for the second time on the road trip, Mariano to pitch 2 innings. He did it in the winning game in the last game against Arizona. James Loney, the hitter, and there's a cutter strike on the inside, 0-1. It'll be Loney, Martin, and Johnson. Lefty, righty, righty. The Yankees have a 2-run lead on Robbie Cano's 15th home run of the year, a 2-run home run in the 10th. Bottom of the 10th. There's the 0-1. Grounded foul to the Yankee dugout on the first base side, the count 0-2. A 4-run rally in the 9th with 1 out and no one on tied the game at 6. And then Cano hit a 2-run job to left center in the 10th. And the Yankees are 3 outs away from, I would say, their best win of the year. Certainly their most implausible, exciting win of the year. The 0-2 up high in the count 1-2. Loney is 0 for 3 with a walk. The pitch is grounded over the mound, and there would be no play. Cano fielded it, but no play. So an infield single for Loney. And that will bring up the right-hand hitting catcher, Russell Martin, who is 0 for 3 and a walk. Now Rivera is set. Loney with the lead, and the pitch, half swing. And the pitch was not called a strike. And the swing was not called a strike by Brian O'Nora. Now the count 1-0 to Martin. Rivera deals. And a pitch low in the count 2-0. Rivera will deal 2-0 to the right-hand hitter, and the pitch high in the count 3-0. Now, if Martin could draw a walk, the Dodgers would have the tying runs on. It'll be a 3-0 to Russell Martin. And the pitch, there's a strike. Loney, of course, will not take a big lead. His run means nothing. The Dodgers are 2 runs down, so you got to stay pretty close to first. He inches off, very short lead. And here's the 3-1. Foul back in the count, 3-2. Yankees have an 8-6 lead. We're in the 10th. The bottom of the 10th. Loney bounced a grounder over the head of Rivera and up the middle for an infield single. And here's Russell Martin. And here comes the payoff pitch from Rivera. It's strike 3 call, 1 away. And Martin throws the bat down and gets ejected by Chris Guccione. Now Martin has been thrown out and he's going to get his money's worth. He took the bat and slammed it with force. Joe Torre comes out. Oh no, in this case, Martin's already been kicked out of the game. Now if the game goes to the 11th inning, we'll see the rookie backup catcher, A.J. Ellis. Here's Reed Johnson, a right-hand hitter. Johnson has 3 hits, 2 doubles, a single, and grounded into a double play. Now 1 on, 1 out. Yankees back looking for 2. A-Rod even with the bag. Teixeira holds the runner on. Jeter and Cano kind of bunching Reed Johnson a little bit up the middle. Rivera holds the set and deals foul behind the plate and out of play. Let's look at the matchup. Johnson is 1 for 9 off Rivera. Of course, what does it mean? Cano was 0 for 11 against Sherrill and then hit a 2-run home run to left center field. Just a little bit of information. It'll be an 0-1 to Johnson and the pitch outside and the count 1-1. The Yankees with their most dramatic rally of the year. 4 runs in the 9th to tie, and then 2 in the 10th, and now they have an 8-6 lead, bottom of the 10th, 1 on, 1 out. Rivera in his 2nd inning. It works out for the Yankees because tomorrow is an off day. Now Mariano set, and the 1-1 cut on a miss, cutter away, and the count 1-2. Jeter and Cano have a little confab in back of second. That'll be a 1-2 to Reed Johnson. He's a right-hand hitter. The right-hand hitting second baseman, Jamie Carroll, on deck. Now Rivera is set. And the 1-2 just missed outside, 2-2. That'll be a 2-2 to Johnson. Loney leads off first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th, 8-6 Yanks. Mariano deals, foul back. Good cut, and fouled it straight back. My aide-de-camp, my charge d'affaires, Carlos Silva, points out it's now a 4-hour game. Well, with the Yankees, what do you expect? Loney leads off first. There's 1 out, bottom of the 10th. The Yanks with an 8-6 lead. And it will be a 2-2 to right-hand hitting Reed Johnson. Mariano is at the belt. And the 2-2 struck him out swinging, cutter away. And they're at 2 down, and the Yankees are 1 out away. Rivera pitched in game 1, came in the 9th inning and struck out the side. That's when the Yankees won 2-1 in back of Sabathia. In the 9th inning, he had a 1-2-3 with 1 strikeout. And in this inning, he gave up a little infield single and then 2 more strikeouts. So Rivera at the top of his game. Here is Jamie Carroll, a right-hand hitter, line drive type hitter. The pitch is high, 1-0. And that fastball is a Mariano fastball at 91. But the difference is his ball moves. The cutter makes it move. That'll be a 1-0 to Carroll. Pitch. Foul back in the count 1-1. The Yankees have an 8-6 lead. We're in the bottom of the 10th. It'll be a 1-1 to Jamie Carroll. Loney at first. Teixeira now plays behind him. And Rivera deals foul on the ground outside of first. If I was Teixeira, I know that they're keeping Loney at first so they can have a force at second. But I think I would back him up. Anyway, the count 1-2 on Carroll. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 10th. Yanks with an 8-6 lead, and Mariano and the Yankees are 1 strike away. Now, Mariano is at the belt. And the 1-2, cutter outside, 2-2. In the Yankee outfield, Colin Curtis playing right moves up a couple of steps. Granderson moves a little bit to right center. And that'll be a 2-2 to Carroll. The pitch foul behind the plate, first base side of home plate. Carroll cut down on the swing just to make contact. So the count holds at 2-2. A very dangerous hitter, Rafael Furcal on deck. The Yankees and Mo are a strike away. Now Mariano is set at the belt. And the 2-2 hit on the ground, weakly to short. Jeter fields, flips to Cano, in time, ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. In their best win of the year, their most implausible, dramatic win of the year, the Yankees get off the deck with 1 out and no one on in the 9th, score 4 runs to tie, and then Robbie Cano, it's a 2-run home run in the 10th. Mariano pitches his normal 2 great innings of relief. The Yankees win 8-6 and have a great road trip. They win 2 out of 3 in Arizona, win 2 out of 3 here in Los Angeles, and go home in first place by 2 games. A bit later on, Yankees in 10 win at 8-6, and we'll get back with the totals in just a moment. Here on the New York Yankees Radio Network, driven by Jeep. The Yankees have secured their 47th win of the year. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Is it A-Rod who had a 2-run home run in the single to lead off that inning? Is it Cano, who had a double in the 9th and a home run? I guess we'll give it to Cano. That's pretty good stats. Player of the game, Robbie Cano, is sponsored by your Tri-State Ford dealer. The Yankees hit 2 home runs tonight, bringing their season total to 84. And for every home run the Yankees hit this year, your local Hyundai dealers donate $100 to the Hope and Heroes Foundation. The season total stands at $8,400. Time now for the Premier Player of the Week. Congratulations to Robbie Cano. As we approach the end of June, Robbie's numbers continue to impress. Aside from consistently hitting for power and driving in runs, Robbie continues to lead the league in batting average. Don't forget to vote for the Premier Player of the Week at YankeesRadioNetwork.com. Now, here are the totals in this 10-inning thrilla-dilla as the Yankees staged an improbable 9th-inning rally and won it in the 10th. For the Yanks, 8 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, they left 9. For the Dodgers, 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors, they left 4. Mariano Rivera wins with 2 innings of relief. He's 2-1. Ramon Troncoso, who gave up the inning-opening hit to Teixeira, therefore put on the winning run as the loser. He is 1-2. With the win, the Yankees retie their high water mark of the year, the 47-28, and Tuesday at the stadium they'll have a chance for the first time this year to go 20 games over. Los Angeles, with the losses, 40-35. The crowd, 56,000. 3 sellouts, all at 56,000 for the Yankee-Dodger series. The time of the game, 4 hours and 2 minutes. And once again, the final score in 10, the Yankees 8 and the Dodgers 6.